And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for being here tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, we got drones flying in the sky all over the USA, but especially in New Jersey. You got House Rep, what's our man's name? I know what I'm talking about. The House Rep out there says, hey, it's the Iranians. They got a mothership off the East Coast. Now you got the Pentagon coming out and saying, well, there's no mothership. There's no drones coming from Iran. That's not what it is. So Pentagon says one thing. Jeff Van Drew, that's his name. Jeff Van Drew said something else. What's the truth? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we have the UnitedHealthcare CEO shooter, Luigi Mangione. I mean, what kind of, like Luigi, who is the accomplice? Mario? But anyway, Luigi Mangione has been identified and arrested. They got the gun, they got the fake ID, they got all that stuff, allegedly. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Mitch McConnell, 82 years old and looks every bit of it, falls again and is in the wheelchair now, permanently or temporarily. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Jay-Z is accused of assaulting a 13-year-old girl in the year 2000 with Puff Daddy. True, false, somewhere in between. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all good for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Oh, we got a whole lot going on. We got a lot going on. I got another airplane story. It's a good one. My airplane story this time is going to be a good one. I got to be a little bit vague, a little bit, because I don't want to identify nobody that don't want to be identified yet, but I got a really good story for you guys. And I'm going to tell you what I got coming up on Friday. Good podcast that I was on, releasing on Friday. I will show you guys that in just a minute. But again, shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. I appreciate y'all because, as you know, there is no me without you. There you go, Unified TV. So Unified TV excited, ain't he? He's like, yo, don't miss ABL on Twins Pod this Friday. That's right. I will be on the Hodge Twins podcast on Friday. I got a preview clip for you guys. I'm going to show in a little bit. So y'all hang tight for that. That's why I was out there in Vegas. Vegas was crazy. Matter of fact, I'm going to just tell you my airplane story, my trip story, and then I'm going to get to everything else. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm getting way ahead of myself. I got excited about a super chat right there. Shout out to my main man, Unified TV. Before we get to all of that, first things first, shout out to the sponsors. Y'all know how I do. PatriotPost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the box, or just go to PatriotPost.us, tell them that ABL sent you. Go to the merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, we have the regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. I have articles for each video that I produce, and in each article, we got sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the Democrat, Republican, politically agnostic, local, national, international. As long as it's legal, it'll be right there on the website, on the pages that correspond to the video, anthonyblogan.com. Also, go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact us. There you'll be able to find my email address, my email address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok, as long as that's going to be here, because they may go ahead and ban TikTok from the US of A come January 2025, January 19th, which is conveniently one day before Trump's inauguration, Funny how that works. But anyway, I have all those social media accounts, my contact info on the website, anthonyblogan.com. And as I always say, if you're ever wondering if you're conversing with me or not on the interwebs, a great way to do a little bit of checking on that, a little bit of fact checking. First of all, check the method of communication. If the email or some random WhatsApp number does not match what's on my website, it's not me. Easy to remember, my email address, contact@anthonyblogan.com. It's easy to remember. It's always in the description box on the website. Click on the website, go to the contact pages right there. Real easy, easy breezy. If you're getting some random email address that doesn't make any sense, you getting the phone number and you going on WhatsApp, all this, that, and the third, it's just not me. Don't get scammed by no big bodybuilder Nigerian that a washed up Hollywood actor uses to make them look like white Trump supporters in Chicago in the polar vortex. Don't get scammed by them, and don't get scammed by Ivan Drago's little nieces and nephews over there in Eastern Europe. Nobody has time for that. We're trying to get this money in 2025 that we can get this 85-year-old guy. Well, not 85. He's not 85. He's 1,085. Get that 1,085-year-old man out of there. And that lady, where's Kamala at? I think Kamala and Joe are both just off. It's like, you know what? Okay, we did our part. We tried. It didn't work. We failed. Okay, now we're on vacation. Now we're on the beach just hanging out, chilling, drinking Diet Coke or whatever we want to do. All right? But yeah, if you're wondering how to communicate with me, how to contact me, the website has all the information. Anything else, a YouTube comment or something like that, it's not me. Don't get scammed. Don't send no gift cards or nothing crazy like that. All right? Now, there's a whole lot going on. But first, okay, what I want to do is show you the clip from the Hodge Twins podcast. All right? So I was on their podcast, and it's going to release this Friday, okay, on the Twins Pod channel. Again, it's coming out this Friday, the 13th. Hey, lucky day, right? I'm going to play this clip, and then I'm going to talk about my trip to Vegas, which was very eventful. All right? Very eventful from the beginning to the end. It was eventful. Check it out.
We got Anthony Brian Logan in the house.
Yeah. We had a damn good show. Had to do it. Had to try it a little bit.
How did you get started talking politics on YouTube?
And I was trying to find somebody that I could relate to on YouTube talking about politics. I was conservative and nobody around me was conservative. My family members, they ain't trying to hear it. They trying to cuss me out. I'm like, all right, can I find somebody to talk to, somebody that can relate to me? I'll just be the person. Why not? Right. And here I am.
Why do you think there's so much peer pressure for black people to vote Democrat?
Because we don't know anything. We don't have no education. A lot of my black friends in Virginia, a lot of them that was calling me all types of names back then when I said I'm going to vote for Trump 2016.
Right.
Hey, man, I voted for Trump this time. I love what you're talking about. Watch all your videos. It's a big shift.
Hey, what do you think about this Daniel Penny trial?
Listen, Daniel Penny's a hero, and people should want him to be on the train with him. Yeah. I got some crazy stories, some hood stories.
Yeah, let's hear them.
Oh, man.
Hey, is it just me? Your feed on Instagram, I just see nothing but black people just crashing out. Black women, black dudes fighting. I'm like, why does this keep coming up in my feed? Is your feed like that too?
I don't really see that too much. I be seeing them Instagram models on my feed. I don't be seeing
you be looking at those butts. You be looking at them twerking videos. What do you think about these female rappers? Sexy Red. Just promote ratchetness.
Man, Sexy Red, that's somebody that I hate a lot. Every time I see her, it's just like, if the STD could just animate as a real person, it's Sexy Red.
They call us sellouts and that we're detrimental to the black community. We're not out here doing all this crazy stuff. We're not criminals and we're not advocating for drug use or criminal behavior, but we're the ones that's going to destroy the black community. Instead of like shit. It's nuts.
Everything's backwards, like Bizarro Superman. Everything is the other way. Y'all share a chapstick?
Yeah, that's gay as fuck, right? We've been doing this shit.
I saw that. I was like, wait a minute. I saw you pull it out and he put it on. I'm like, hold on. That's crazy.
We be sharing shit. We sometimes go to the bathroom together.
So there it is. That's a trailer for the podcast coming out. It's going to be on Friday the 13th. I had a great time. Oh, man, it was fun, man. Being with some Virginia guys is just pure comedy. It was a lot of fun. And about that chapstick. So I saw my man, I forget, hey, Keith and Kevin, I'm sorry. I could tell y'all apart personality-wise, but the names is going to be kind of hard for me. But one of my Virginia brothers pulled out a chapstick, like a Burt's Bees, the same kind of one. He pulled it out. He put it on the table. And then I'm seeing the other one put it on. I'm like, wait a minute. But I didn't see him take that chapstick. But I noticed the chapstick that he put out was not on the table anymore. So I'm like, okay, one of you guys pulled out chapstick. I didn't see the other one pull it out, but the other one used it. I'm like, y'all sharing chapstick? But they twins though, so I understand it's a different kind of connection, but still, I don't know about that one. So yeah, and I think that part they captured was at the beginning of the podcast before we started rolling. I was just in there talking. So yeah, shout out to them, man. Great guys, good people, really inviting. And shout out to you guys who were there, like behind the scenes. I appreciate y'all. Really, really good people overall. Had a great time. I think we spoke for almost about 2 hours. I'm not quite sure how long it's going to be in the end. It might be a little bit shorter than that because there were some parts that they could have cut out. Like if we're watching the video and the video doesn't get good until the end, they might cut a certain part out. So it might be an hour and a half, an hour and 45 when you guys see it. But overall, it was pretty good. All right, now, so they are in Vegas is where I went to Vegas on Sunday and I was gone on Monday. So it was a lot of stories that were happening on Monday, but I couldn't really record because I'm out there doing that, right? But anyway, so here's my story. I always fly out of Hartsfield-Jackson, Atlanta. That's my airport. It's not that far away. If I fly out from here, all they're going to do is send me to Charlotte or Atlanta and then do a connecting. I'd rather just get a direct flight, which is what happened. I drive to Atlanta, about 2 hours tops to drive there. I hop on the plane, direct flight, Vegas is like 4 hours. So on the way to Vegas, I get to my gate and I got a little bit of time. I'm going to go to the bathroom right quick and then I'm good. Now, as I go to the bathroom, somebody comes out and recognizes me. No, somebody might see you. You're like, okay, you can look at them. It's like, oh, you're that person. So the person recognizes me, shakes my hand. And he's like, and I already know he's like, he knows him from YouTube. So I say, okay, I'm from YouTube or whatever. And he says, yeah, man, I watch all you guys. I watch you. I watch all the conservative people. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, this guy looks really like somebody important. And so I go to the bathroom as he's coming out. I go back to the gate and he's right there at the gate. And I just, stand near him and start talking. And I'm looking at him. And then he told me his name. Now, I ain't going to tell you his name because he's not really out there as far as I know. But the person was a famous former NFL football player. And when I say famous, I mean Hall of Famer. I'm talking about been in the Hall of Fame for 20 years famous. And I recognized him a little bit, but at the same time, I didn't. But after I got done talking to him, I'm like, oh, you are an NFL Hall of Famer. Listen, there are a lot of quiet conservatives out there that you would never know who actually watch you. People watch this channel, you would never know. So shout out to him. Hey, great conversation, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for that. It meant a lot to me, more than what you know. All right. I know at that time I wasn't really fanned out or anything like that, but it meant a lot to me when it was a good conversation. And then afterward, it was just heightened because of who he was. You understand what I'm saying? So shout out to him. It was crazy that a Hall of Famer recognized me before I recognized them. It was crazy. You guys are not naming them. And I'm not going to tell you because I'm not going to put nobody out there. All right. But shout out to him. Now, my Vegas story. Okay. So that was on the way to Vegas on the first flight, right? Now, once I get to Vegas, they got me staying in the casino. Now, you guys have seen Idiocracy, right? Where you got all this really crazy big stuff, really big for no reason stores. It was like that in Vegas. Everything was big. You got the machines, the gambling machines inside the airport, right at the gate. You go to a restaurant, they got the machines right there at the bar. It was crazy. And the hotel I was in was big as a mall, machines everywhere. You go down to the lobby 8 a.m., they in there packed, gambling at the blackjack, at the slots, packed from the window to the wall, packed. Now, when I get there at night, I guess it's maybe about 9 p.m. their time. I'll pull up, and you guys are still not guessing who the person is. So good luck with that one. But when I pull up in the taxi, there's some traffic and some commotion outside, but it's nothing really serious. Now, I'm on the elevator at a certain point after I've been downstairs, just walking around checking it out, and I'm overhearing the conversation. They say, hey, somebody shot themselves on the high floor? I'm like, what? Now, I asked a question because I'm just curious. I'm like, hey, did he jump? Did he jump or did he just delete himself? Did he pull the trigger? And the guy said he had a sawed-off shotgun and hit himself with it. I'm like, hey, he went out with a bang, didn't he? Nobody laughed. I thought it was funny. But anyway, so somebody got deleted in the airport right before I came. But I didn't see the police and the ambulance. They must have cleared all that out before I got there. But there was still some commotion, right? You couldn't park right in front of the actual hotel. Now I understand why. All right. When the cab pulled up, they were like, you got to go out back onto Las Vegas Boulevard. I was at the South Point Hotel, if you know what that is. So I look on the news after I got back, and then I found the story about it. Okay. The guy did not shoot himself. He got shot by police. So look right here. Officer identified in shooting that killed one person at South Point Hotel Casino. So you see this right here in the picture, this picture of the actual outside. I pulled up right there. That's where I was pulling up in the taxi. But when I got there, I didn't see the ambulance and all of that out. They already cleared it out. But I pulled up right there, and somebody got deleted in my hotel. It was great. Like, why is it always something that happens to me like that? What are the odds of that happening? You go to a hotel where somebody just got iced. And what happened was it was a barricade. So the guy had a shotgun, but he was barricaded, and the police trying to get him out. So as he comes out, he charged at the police with the gun. The officers open fire, and he dies right there on the high floor, like the 21st floor or something like that. So yeah, that happened. And beyond that, it was a good time. They had the rodeo. I was like, man, I'm a long way away from Atlanta. I am a long way away from Atlanta. Okay. I go into the actual lobby, which is the casino, and it's far as the eye can see. Machines everywhere, tables everywhere, waitresses wearing pretty much nothing. It was a mess. Cigarette smoke, ding, 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 all of that going on. Sensory overload. Okay. But when I go in there, I'm seeing 10,000 white guys, cowboy hats on, and what's that? The lasso, because it was a rodeo. You got the horse trailers outside. I'm hearing horses. I'm hearing all the neighing. It's everything going on. I'm like, where am I at right now? I was just in Wakanda. Now I'm in Tombstone, the Wild Wild West. Okay, are we going to have an Alec Baldwin sighting? What's going on? But yeah, but I did go to the rodeo. That was fun. Got to see him tie up the cattle, beat horns on the cattle sometimes too. It was fun. I saw a handful of black cowboys, a handful, but mostly, I promise, 10,000 white guys, cowboy hats, spurs on the boots, and lassos. I was like, man, I am not in Wakanda any longer. I have long left Wakanda. I am somewhere else. That's who I am now. But yeah, it was cool though. It was a different experience. I would go back. I would go back for the actual rodeo. Yeah, it was a cool experience. I had a good time. So yeah, shout out to the rodeo. Shout out to Vegas. The dude deleted himself. R.I.P. to him. R.I.P. You know what I mean? Prayers out to the family. All that good stuff. And shout out to my friend that I met out there, NFL Hall of Fame football player, who is a real conservative and watches everybody. Everybody gets watched. So yeah, that was my story. But aside from that, it was cool experience. The room was real big, big for no reason. It's like an apartment in there. It was cool though. So yeah, hey, I promise I'll probably be traveling a lot more. I've not traveled a lot this year. I traveled a lot in 22, some in 23. I've not traveled too much this year, but I'll be having a lot more of these stories because every time I travel is something. The plane ride was cool. No dope fiends on there. because I was flying Delta this time, and normally Delta, you have minimal crackheads on Delta. So it was cool this time. It was all good. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And you guys are guessing so many names, but nobody has actually guessed the person. You would never guess this person. Never, ever, ever, ever. Ever, 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 ever. Okay. It might even be a challenge for some of y'all to guess them. But again, I'm not going to say. Okay. Now, hold on. All right, Chrome freezing up. There we go. Now, did I gamble? Somebody asked, did I gamble? What did I eat? So I didn't really eat anything too special. I just had like a real basic thing because I had to do the podcast. I'm not trying to eat something different than what I normally eat and then be on the podcast with the bubble guts. That's not really too good. You know, I want to be able to sit there for however long I got to sit there without having to go to the little boy's room. So I didn't eat anything. I ate like a chicken wrap, you know, like a real basic whole food kind of thing. Yeah, that was pretty much it. I didn't want to eat no casino food. I'm good on that. So I walked to a restaurant that was right across the street and ate there. And I met somebody says, what city airport? Or maybe you already got it. Okay. Was it a black quarterback? No. Emmett Smith. I wish I did meet Emmett Smith. That'd be great. Or Emmett, Cordell. I'm not gonna give you nothing because if I give you the initials, it'll give it away. But what was I getting ready to say? So the food, Vegas, Harry Reid International Airport. I saw the Sphere and all that good stuff. It was cool. But the main thing that I noticed was how big everything was. Las Vegas Boulevard, you get this 15-lane highway. I'm exaggerating, but it was a big highway. It was just a lot. It was a lot. All right. Now, was it Dion? Hey, shout out to Dion. If Dion watches, shout out to Dion. Nah, it was not Dion though. Now, if it was Dion, he would have made a really big scene because he's like uber famous because of how much he's in the news. The person I'm talking about is famous as well, but Dion is a different level. All right. So yeah, let's keep on rocking though.
Okay. Just go.
Let's keep on rocking. Now we got street interviews.
You know what?
Street interviews. What's going on here? What do Americans know? What do we not know?
You know what country the Great Wall of China is in?
Country?
Yeah. Maybe you had to guess.
The question, what country is the Great Wall of China in?
Japanese?
Yes. Nice.
I'm really just guessing if I didn't have
No, you have to. How many inches are in 2 feet?
I don't know.
Around how many inches? If you had to guess.
5?
Yes. Do you know what state is right under North Dakota?
What state?
Kind of hard to visualize a map. But like,
Right.
if you had to guess what's under, like what's right south of North Dakota?
You're asking me all these.
His face, man. I mean, and you know what? My thing, sometimes I'm like, okay, you just asking these people, you're trying to find the silliest person to ask these questions. But at a certain point, these are not difficult questions. Hey, what's the state below North Dakota? Okay. What is the state below North Dakota? It's 2 Dakotas. One of them is called North Dakota. What's the other one called? Huh?
You're asking me all these northwest, east questions. I don't know.
Guess a state.
A state. I don't even know the states. This is bad.
Yeah, a state. That's the one right under North Dakota.
This is so bad.
You know what country the
All righty. So there we go. We got, do I have one more of those? I think, no. I think that might have been the one. But yeah, hey, let's invest into education. I know we're worried about LGBT and all that kind of stuff, but let's be concerned with education, okay? And you know what? Here's something else. Another reason why I say we need to focus on education, teaching children, teaching adults. 1 + 1, teaching them what animals are. All right. Now, somebody had the police called on them for animal neglect because their dog was outside. Now, I got to ask you guys a question. Would you call police, animal control, or whatever because of a dog being left outside in the cold? And if you would you think, hey, you know what? Maybe certain kinds of dogs are going to be okay out here. Maybe some dogs are not really going to be, maybe they'll be all right in the cold. And maybe there's no point in calling the police. Check this out.
The cops and animal control both showed up at my house last night because someone reported an anonymous claim that we had left our dog outside in the cold weather. It's pretty cold here in Maryland. And when the cops showed up, they said, "Oh, we're sorry. If we would have known that, we wouldn't have shown up." This is kind of a waste of time. Nuko? You cold out here?
No, I'm good. Do you see this dog? If you saw this dog outside in the cold, and I don't see a piece of snow on the ground, and even if it was a winter wonderland, I think that dog right there might be okay in the cold. Just maybe. I'm just saying. That dog might be all right in the cold. So, again, back to education. Hey, if I see this dog that's obviously a cold weather dog outside in the cold, maybe I shouldn't call the police, okay? Let's use our brains a little teeny bit. Use your head for more than a hat rack, okay? let's just do that. Let's just do that. So yeah, shout out to the dog. Beautiful dog, by the way. Great dog, taken care of very well. Obviously, going to the groomers. The dog's chilling.
Are you neglected? You poor thing.
So yeah, shout out to the dog. Okay, if you see a dog looking like that obviously has the body type, the fur, all of that to withstand the cold, mind your business. It's okay. And it wasn't even snowing outside. It was just, just a little nippy, a tad bit nippy. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. So we have somebody that wants to, actually, you know what? I almost didn't want to play this one, but I got to play it because I've seen this. I think some of y'all might have seen this one already. Now this, someone has some type of what they think is an antique that they want to sell or get appraised. They think it's one thing, but it's something else. Okay. So let's watch.
What do you think this is?
I think that it's a slave bracelet. I would like to think that my relatives helped to free the slaves, and that was one of the ones that they freed, or maybe they found. I think that this is the name of the slave holder and then the name of the slave underneath it. Am I right?
It's a dog collar.
Hey, a dog collar you thought was a slave collar is crazy. That's very, very embarrassing. A slave collar? Like, I think maybe you'd be able to identify a human neck versus a dog neck. I don't know. But hey, shout out to her. That is not a slave collar. Maybe you guys were freeing the slaves, all that kind of stuff. But no. That's not what that is. That's just not what that is. It's a dog collar. But it's okay, man. Hey, it was a great effort. You get an A for effort, okay? Shout out to you. I don't think that is historically relevant like you think it is. Now, back to the young lady that wants to leave the USA. This is a Chinese national wanting to leave. Now, here's my thing. If anyone wants to leave the United States, especially foreign nationals, I say go ahead. Knock yourself out. What's stopping you? And as a matter of fact, I might even want to donate to a GoFundMe for a person that says I want to leave America. Hey, all right, X, Y, and Z person's GoFundMe to leave America and never to return. Great. If I can get that in writing that you're going to use the funds to leave and never return, I donate. I most certainly would donate. Now, let's see what the person says right here. And you already know what it's going to be because we got a mask. We got a big mask covering 50% of your face. Okay? Your nose, your cheekbones, all of that. Right up under your eyelids, we got the mask. Like, look at how much real estate that is in your face. That is a lot of your face. You got the bangs covering the top. glasses, it's like you're wearing a disguise. Your hair, glasses, and mask come off at once. Anyway, let's watch.
Trump is winning and I'm going to flee to Canada next week. I'm a Chinese national working on a temporary visa in the United States for about 10 years. In the past administration,
10 years on temporary visa? That don't sound right. That must be expired.
Of Trump, I have been experiencing a lot of hurdles because of him and because of his crew, Stephen Miller especially. I was almost unable to extend my visa and my green card application was paused as well. And so that is why I have determined to get other countries' permanent residency since 2020. Finally, my application for Canadian residency was approved. And now Trump won the election again. What I'm going to do is to flee to Canada next week to escape the Trump plan.
Hey, that is okay. That is totally fine with me. Okay, if Canada wants you, they accepted you, then go ahead. Hey, we're so heartbroken to see you go, but it's totally fine. Don't even worry about it. No need for an announcement video. No need for the tearful goodbyes. Just go ahead and go about your business, okay? Anyone who wants to leave, like that Russian lady that was on the plane that pardon me, that's not the right word. The stowaway who went from JFK, New York City to France, I say leave her over there. Let her stay over there. Why we got to bring her back here? For what? We just wasting resources. Anybody that wants to self-deport, allow them to do it. Like, we're worried about the southern border and the migration crisis. We're trying to keep them out. If you're here and you want to leave, go ahead. Have at it. All right, now look. Speaking about leaving, escaping, Los Angeles, what's going on with your jails? So they got like a kite, right? You know, what they might use to send contraband from one place to the other, or what they might want to use to try and escape. They got this big rope coming from the top of the building almost down to the bottom. And they're not trying to fix it. They're not trying to stop it. That's California for you. They might let them escape the prison and say that it's, if you don't let them escape, it's racist.
That's crazy work.
Look at that. From the very top. How you just let that, like, you can see it clearly from the street. Anybody can see it. We got cameras that are recording this. Why would you not just remove that? I don't get it.
They need more sheets.
Los Angeles, downtown LA, what are we doing? What's going on? I don't really understand. I tell you what, you couldn't pay me cash money to live in Los Angeles. California, maybe some parts, like a little pocket in the corner somewhere away from the crack smokers and things like this, maybe. But Los Angeles, I would never, ever live in Los Angeles. Okay? It appears to be all the sheets in the penitentiary or whatever kind of center that is. All the sheets on that side of the building been put together to create an escape route, I suppose. Hey, you know what? Some guys will make that jump. It's about 30 foot short. They make that jump. We've seen it happen before. I've seen guys in Atlanta, young boys, jump from a parking garage, break all their lower extremities, but they will jump. They sure will. Now, speaking about LA, they wasted $218 million on unused homeless shelter beds.
What?
Which is par for the course, right? Los Angeles, California. Check it out.
1 in 4 interim housing beds went unused over a 5-year period, costing taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars.
Bro, what's up with this hairstyle, man? What in the shoo-wah is going on? What is LA, man? What is going on? Like, okay, let me start from the top. That hairstyle, this big red from Cadillac Records hairstyle, really, my office hours are from 9 to 5. hairstyle completely distracted me. Let me start from the top.
1 in 4 interim housing beds went unused over a 5-year period, costing taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars. We can tell you more information this morning from that audit by the LA City Controller. It found that from 2019 to 2023, 1 in 4 city-funded shelter beds went unused, costing Los Angeles taxpayers an estimated $218 million. That's according to the audit released on Tuesday by LA City Controller Kenneth Mejia. The report revealed that only 20% of interim shelter residents transitioned to permanent housing, while more than half returned to homelessness or had unknown outcomes. Mejia called the findings unjustifiable, saying any bed that goes 1 in 4 interim.
So there we go. My main man, looking like Nat King Cole, Smokey Robinson, a 1971 R&B crooner, a soul crooner, okay, says that LA County, Los Angeles, I guess the city, wasting $200 million on homeless beds that go unused. But yet there's a homeless problem. So that's just inefficiencies right there. Now, if you have not seen, hold on. Now I gotta play the whole My Office Hours from 9 to 5. If you've not seen that scene yet.
Okay, now listen to this one. See, there was this king, and he had 3 daughters. See, so he told all the princes of the land that if you wanted my daughters,
I need to
that
talk to you, Big Red.
Give me a minute. Can't you see I'm talking?
No, I need to talk to you right now about my royalties and how you keep your books.
My office hours are from 9 to 5.
Fuck your office.
Whoa.
Hours. I need to talk to you right now, motherfucker.
So yeah, and then at the end of this scene, you know how it plays out. You get not tossed over the balcony, but just kind of hung over the balcony a little bit to threaten you.
What about my books? What you want to talk about? Nothing.
So yeah, that hairstyle reminded me of that scene in that movie. So shout out to Big Red. What movie was that? Was that was it the 5 Heartbeats? Nah, I don't know what the movie was. Y'all know what it was. So yeah, shout out to Big Red, and shout out to my main man from LA, bringing that old school Motown 1960s hairstyle back to the 2024 era. All the old fashions coming back. The young guys, the Gen Z, they're bringing everything back. They're bringing my high school fashion back. The Jinkos, jerseys, Timberland boots, the same thing I was wearing back when I was 15 years old, they're wearing right now in 2024. So shout out to them for that. Now, one trend that I don't like are these, I don't even know what these guys are nowadays. You know, Transformer or just androgynous. I don't know what's really going on. Was it the 5 Heartbeats? Thank you. All right. Now, let's check this out here. This is a Google ad. Now, I don't know who this person is. You're looking like, I don't know, man. You're looking like a golfer from United Arab Emirates. You're looking like a golfer that stays in Dubai. Or maybe you have a residency in Vegas.
So dry. This winter dryness is not it, especially when I have so many holiday looks to pull off. Thankfully, I know just the thing. And it's in stock nearby. Hydrated skin is a gift to everyone. No wrapping needed. Happy holidays to me.
So that is a Google ad. Now, my thing is, who are we trying to talk to with this ad? Who is the target audience? Is there enough of an audience for this person in this ad to kind of cling on to? Like, I'm just trying to figure it out. Because I know one thing that they do. They make ads to target it to certain people. And when you're watching TV, they play ads in certain regions. For example, when I was in LA one time, I'm watching the hotel TV just to see what was going on locally, the local news. And the ads they were playing were crazy. Like they had ads for the HIV prevention, what's that called? PrEP that the men take. They had that on TV like it was nothing. When I was in Vegas, I watched some news for a second, and the ad had this black dude, big black dude, dancing on water, eating fried chicken. I'm talking about he was cutting the rug, doing the whole jig, eyes bucking, eating. I'm like, what in the world is this? This would not fly back where I'm at. Like, you could play certain things certain places. That's what I noticed about advertisement. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. 2%, that's 2% of the people would really. But, hey, let's say you're in San Francisco or New York City. That kind of ad that I showed you with this guy, okay, this dude, all right, looking like Xerxes from 300. That's Xerxes' 15 times great grandson right there, wearing a how do you wear a men's blazer, but it looks like a woman's blazer, and you're a man at the same time? But anyway, that ad would get played in a place where you got a lot of that kind of people and that kind of activity around. All right. So, yeah, shout out to Google for that one. That's an L. Now, you know, I saw that Kamala staffers, black staffers, are saying that they were mistreated and that there may be some lawsuits over their mistreatment. Now, I thought Kamala was the black woman and we got to protect black women and blackity black. That's why I thought she was. So why are these black staffers saying that they may have been mistreated by Kamala Harris? Hold on. I got to find that one. Black staffers. Yeah, black staffers. Wait, here we go. Let me see now. All right. Oh, there's two things here. Well, let's go to Yahoo. Black staffers say they were mistreated on the campaign, blames leadership for taking base for granted. Okay, this is from Fox News and published on Monday. Black staffers mistreated by the Kamala campaign say it ain't so. But I thought that I was a racist and I hated myself if I didn't vote for Kamala. But if I not only voted for Kamala, but worked for her on the campaign to help her win as a black person, I'm being mistreated. Make that make sense. Have you ever heard about anybody being mistreated from the Trump campaign? Have you heard about that? I mean, you have some that work for Trump in the White House that want to write books. You got some of these brokies like Omarosa, a scammer, a glorified Nigerian scammer. Shout out to the Nigerians. But people like Omarosa want to write a book. Other guys that might have been in there, it don't matter what color, they want to write books and get money. But I've not heard about anybody being mistreated on a campaign, and definitely not for race. But with Kamala, we have it. Now, they also, staffers went rogue to try and reach black and Latino voters. It says, word that the campaign was neglecting voters of color in Philadelphia and other battleground cities. Organizers secretly gather at a Dunkin' Donuts and elsewhere to get out the vote. What's this, an Underground Railroad? The Underground Railroad? You got to go meet in secret? I mean, look, if they catch our meeting, what are you going to do? You're going to get in trouble? Oh, we can't talk because Massa Kamala's out there and we's going to get beat. We's going to get beat, Massa. We won't say nothing. Secretly meeting at a Dunkin' Donuts. If you got caught, what's going to happen? You're going to get deleted? Listen, these Democrats have not changed. They have not changed. They are the same as always. The same as always. Whether they use a black face, white face, it don't matter. They have not changed. Now, and nobody likes her. Nope, her side doesn't like her. The right doesn't like her. Kids don't like her. Adults don't like her. Nobody likes Kamala. And we saw that in 2020 when she came in dead last out of everybody. We saw that in 2020, didn't we? So look, here is Kamala and the white man, her husband. Oh, if you're not married to a black man, you're not a real black person. All right, Kamala and her white man, Jewish man, Doug Emhoff, are getting the cold shoulder by Joe and Jill. Check it out.
And now please welcome the President of the United States and First Lady, Jill Biden.
Wow. Walked right past her, didn't even look at her. Walked right past her, didn't even look in her direction. I'm talking like, you can't actually not see her. She's right there, right in your walking path. What would you do normally if you're polite and you like somebody? Hello, how are you? Shake the hand, hug, brief small talk, go to your seat. Joe and Jill walked right past her and Doug, didn't say a word. Hey, not only was there no handshake, JK, not only was there no handshake, there wasn't even a look in her direction. Straight cold shoulder, walked right past, did one of these numbers, like a walk right past her. That is absolutely crazy. I'm going to let it play to see if there's any kind of interaction. Nothing. Nothing at all. That tells you everything you need to know. A video says 1,000 words. A video speaks 1,000,000 words, really, because you can see a picture. It could be a moment in time. You're not really getting the full context, but the full video right here, you saw them at the beginning before Jill and Joe came out. And you saw them as they came out, and you're seeing them now as they're out. Nothing. Now let's fast forward here. Hold on. I might even do a video on this. I gotta save the other one. I gotta save the Dunkin' Donuts Underground Railroad visit. It's like that's crazy. But anyway, okay. Now, 2 black teachers are suing Beverly Hills because students are wearing MAGA hats and chanting F Kamala, okay? So I don't know why they're trying to sue. Like, what's it like, okay, black teacher, are you Kamala Harris? No, you're not. And as a matter of fact, black teacher, if you worked on Kamala's campaign, you be at Dunkin' Donuts meeting in private because you're trying to actually get things done that she don't care about. So let's just watch.
This cafeteria, in their mind, is somehow disgusting or dirty simply because there are black people eating there. That is the epitome of racism.
It was just mob of kids, just so many kids outside my door.
On Election Day, a group of students with MAGA hats and a Trump flag roamed down the hallway of Beverly Hills High School.
I'm going to tell you how scary it was.
Teacher Bella Ivory says the group of students tried to enter her classroom where there were several black students.
Some of the students were shouting Kamala as they walked down the hallway. The profanity towards our vice president, who is part black, combined with students congregating in front of my classroom, increased my fears and also the students' fears who were locked inside that room with me.
Hey, but you know what's funny, though? Kamala's not even black. Kamala's not even black, so what you got to worry about? And what's going to happen? What are these kids going to do? What are Connor, Grayson, and all these kids going to actually do?
Attorney has filed a formal complaint with the Beverly Hills Unified School District. He plans on filing a lawsuit next.
We allege discrimination, harassment, retaliation, racial comments, physical threats. That's what this lawsuit is all about.
Now, look, what I want to know is, what I want to hear from is the kids. I want to hear their part of it. Okay, why are you trying to get in the class? What's going on? Was it a personal thing? Did you know anybody in the class? I mean, these are your friends at school, so what's going on? That's what I want to know. But as far as trying to sue over this, I think that's ridiculous. And again, Kamala is not black anyway. So shout out to the kids out there, all right, for supporting the orange man and for not supporting that lady, the brown woman. All right. Now, this is a Kamala campaign manager. Maybe he was a leader of the Dunkin' Donuts retreats, the Dunkin' Donuts secret Underground Railroad slave meetings. But anyway, Kamala Harris campaign manager explains the Democratic Party could not have an open primary because it would upset black women. Didn't I tell you all that before? Didn't I say the reason why there was no primaries? Because now you're going to upset the base. Because remember, in 2020, the reason why he picked Kamala is because she is a woman and she's black. And that was his promise. I'm going to pick a black woman to be the vice president. So if in the 0 hour in a 0 hour before the election, if you try to get rid of her or to primary her, now you kind of going back on your word because you said you were going to pick a black woman to be the vice president. So if you cannot continue, if you cannot move on, line of succession says that she's got to be next. If you try to block that process and put somebody else in there and have them become the nominee or take over when you cannot continue, it's like, what's going on? You're going to upset the black women and women who, I guess, sympathize with black women. You're going to upset them a lot. So let's watch this.
We had 107 days, and I know people don't like that time frame, that number, but to open up a Democratic primary, you would have had black women who were the strongest voting bloc for Kamala Harris be highly upset if it was not Kamala Harris. You would have had someone starting with zero infrastructure. I hear your concern, and I'm not saying that primaries are not important and open primaries are important. We had 107 days.
Yeah, so, I mean, they were stuck. They had to roll with her. They couldn't do a primary. And also, Biden made them take Kamala. He did that. You know, shout out to Coach Greg Adams. He said this before. He was like, he says, Biden plays up this whole, I'm an old man, I don't know anything, I'm just so old and frail. He plays that up, but he's also still cunning. Because what he did was force Kamala upon the Democratic Party as kind of a parting gift. So he waits until after the primaries are done to drop out. Then he says, okay, you guys take Kamala. Right after he left, okay, y'all take Kamala. He endorsed her immediately. Now, Barack Obama did not endorse her right away. It took him a while. It took him a few days because he didn't want to do it. But he ultimately had no choice in the matter because of what Biden did. Dropping out right after the primaries or right before the DNC, and you endorse Kamala, so they got to take Kamala. Hey, their fault. If they didn't make him pick her to begin with, and if he doesn't relent, then they're not in a situation. It works well for us. I'm not complaining. I'll say, hey, that was a great move. It helped us go ahead and get back in the White House. So it's totally fine. It is totally fine. All right. Now, you have Democrats in Congress led by, in this, little, I guess you would say press conference, protest, whatever, Ayanna Pressley. They're saying that they want all of the death row convicts to be commuted. Now, personally, I believe in the death penalty. I think there should be an accelerated process for a death penalty. If you get caught red-handed doing something like, okay, let's say, here's an example. You get caught deleting somebody just for no reason. You got the gun on you. You're right there in the crime scene. Everything says that you did it. And they know that beyond a shadow of a doubt, they got witnesses, videotape, the murder weapon, you at the scene of the crime. I think you should go ahead and get put to sleep, and it shouldn't be taking 20 years to do it. I say take them out back. As soon as they say guilty, take them out back and be done with it. That's what I would say. If you have undeniable, irrefutable evidence, that's what I would say. Now, do you think that they're going to commute these death row people? I think not. But let's see what they're going to try to ask for here.
Today on...
And RIP to the headphone users. So we got Ayanna Pressley. We got Cori Bush. I don't know what she's wearing. Speaking about Cori Bush, what is this? Like a pool table created? Like you repurposed a pool table into a suit.
On Human Rights Day, we call on President Biden to do the right thing, to use his clemency authority to commute the death sentences of the 40 individuals on death row, to resentence them to a prison term, and to save lives. State-sanctioned murder is not justice. And the death penalty is a cruel, racist, and fundamentally flawed punishment that has no place in our society. It is deeply discriminatory and has disproportionately been weaponized against Black, brown, and low-income families for far too long. It is long past time for President Biden to make good on his campaign promise to address the federal death penalty. With 40 days left in his presidency, we must move with urgency and ensure that history never repeats itself.
All right, so there we go. So do you guys think that it's going to happen? Do you guys think that he's going to follow through on the so-called campaign promise? Remember the other campaign promise, or at least one big one that I can recall, which was the whole thing about the student loans. That didn't happen. So why do we think that he's going to commute all these people? And again, most of them should not even really be off of death row. They should have got deleted pretty much right away. Evil people, people that don't deserve to be on this planet. You know, I'm a peaceful person, but some people don't need to be here. They got to go. That's a good question, Casey. How is it racist? Hey, your guess is as good as mine because I don't know. I don't know how a death penalty is racist. If somebody got caught committing the crime, they're found guilty, there's evidence against them. I mean, what are we talking about here? Sometimes you got to put people to sleep. It's simple. Yeah, of course he did it with Hunter. Zeladon, yeah, he did it with Hunter, but that's his boy. That's his pride and joy, his 54-year-old pride and joy. So, yeah, he's going to do that with Hunter. But, you know, anybody else, nah. I think Joe Biden is done anyway. He's pretty much finished. So whatever is done is done. Ain't no sense of trying to act like, you know, he'll do something else. Let me see. Hold on. Michael Crislow says, RIP, the comment section with Brett Cooper. She was averaging 500,000 views per video. Seems like Daily Wire can't keep good female talent. What happened with Brett Cooper? Like, did I miss something? Like, sometimes you guys tell me things that I'm totally oblivious to. Like, when you guys told me about the whole drone thing, I had no idea what was going on. I had no clue. And all I do all day is read news, so I don't know how I missed it. But Brett Cooper, but then again, I've never seen anything from Brett Cooper. Okay. So okay, I'm seeing clips here that she left, but why did she leave? All right. Like, what happened? Anyway, so is she leaving because of a problem, or she's just leaving because it's time to go ahead and branch out on her own? Y'all let me know what you know about that. But again, I have a video here from her. I ain't gonna play this whole thing. I'm gonna just play a little teeny bit of it. So her show was called The Comment Section. Is that what it is? Okay, yeah. I've never in my life even heard of that show, but I've heard of her name. And the reason why I've heard of her name is because of Candace Owens. I think she said it one time.
Hey guys.
But I don't think I'm Brett Cooper's core audience. She looks like a Swiftie a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Brett Cooper has people that watch her that are like, I don't know. I don't want to say that. let me just play this.
Some of you have heard the rumors online, and the rumors are mostly true. Today, December 10th, will be my last day hosting the comment section and working for the Daily Wire. It is not true that I am being forced out. It was my own choice to leave. And believe me, this is bittersweet. I have had the most unbelievable 3 years helping to craft the show, building this community, and telling stories and sharing the truth every day. Through the comment section, you all have made me braver, more articulate, more thoughtful, more hopeful than I could have ever imagined. And I'm grateful that we spent this time together. And I'm grateful that the Daily Wire gave us a platform to grow this community. But at this point in my life, I am ready to take on a new direction, both personally and professionally. This means new challenges and new endeavors, which I will share with you soon.
Okay, so pretty much boilerplate type of, yeah, I'm moving on. I got bigger and better things. All right. Somebody said, watch Mark Dice. And then somebody said, get to the drones. We'll get to the drones later. You got to just wait or carry your hind part somewhere else.
The Daily Wire's It Girl has quit. Brett Cooper, who they hired 3 years ago and then built a set for, looking like she was an ordinary teenage girl in her bedroom making YouTube videos. But it was
exactly, teenage girl in the bedroom. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like a Swiftie type of vibe. You know what I mean? I'm not like 18 years old, get ready to go to college, and I'm not a female.
Daily Wire set skyrocketing her to 1 million subscribers within about 6 months, which was quite stunning. Up to 4.5 million subscribers. And now she is walking away from the show. At first, I thought she's getting back into acting. She did some acting when she was younger.
All right. Shout out to Mark, but I really don't got time for Brett Cooper. To be totally honest, I don't know who that is. I've heard of her name, but I've never in my life seen a Brett Cooper video ever. But shout out to her. Hopefully everything's good. All right. But look, so do you guys remember, I think I might have done a video on it, or I might have said it in a live stream, where Trump said, or he joked to Trudeau. So Trudeau came to Mar-a-Lago, speak to Trump recently, and allegedly during the dinner with Trump, Trudeau, and others, he joked to Trudeau about the tariffs, because that was the whole point of the dinner. Trudeau wanted to get some of these tariffs off of Canada, or he did not want the proposed tariff to be placed on Canada. And he says, Trump says, hey, look, if you guys can't survive without what we give to you, then look, how about we just annex you and make you the 51st state, and you can have Trudeau be the governor rather than the president. That was the alleged joke made at the dinner. Now, we have politicians in Canada, the great white north, taking it kind of literally, taking it seriously. All right, let's watch. And shout out Rebel News.
Trump on his Truth Social this morning greeted the Prime Minister as the governor of the 51st state, something along that line. Have you seen that? Do you have any thoughts about that, about the dynamics of the relationship?
I haven't seen that, but so I probably shouldn't comment. Just that with the Truth Social post of Donald Trump planting a Canadian flag on a Canadian mountain, I have to say that to the extent that this 51st state thing was a joke, it's not funny. And I find that pursuing it on social media makes me increasingly nervous. Mr. Trump has, we have to be very, very careful with the president-elect, and we have to pull together, I think, all opposition party leaders and premiers, all elements of the Canadian political establishment, such as we are, better pull together to make sure we don't create any cracks that allow Fox News or Mr. Trump's social media to exploit us and say things about Canada that aren't true.
I'm saying, but like, what's the, like, okay, what is Fox News and Trump going to do to like annex Canada? That's a little bit bigger than a Fox News video or a Truth Social post could accomplish. That's a whole different level. You can't just take over a whole country like that. I mean, but hey, man, shout out to her. I guess she was not really amused by the post on Truth Social. Not amused at all. Now, speaking about Truth Social, we got Fetterman. I'm going to call him Fetterman from now on. No more Fetterwoman. Fetterman, John Fetterman, put something on Truth Social himself. Now, I'm going to show it on the screen, then I'll read it briefly, and then we will move on. We got the drones next, okay, for you drone guys. Get to the drones, ABL. I got you. Hold your horses. But look, so here's Fetterman. He says, my first truth. The Trump hush money and Hunter Biden cases were both BS. He said the full word or wrote the full word, and pardons are appropriate. Weaponizing the judiciary for blatant partisan gain diminishes the collective faith in our institutions and sows further division. So he's saying that both cases are politically motivated. Now, I agree with him on half of it, obviously, the whole Trump thing being politically motivated, but Hunter Biden just got away with what he was doing. I mean, look, you can't tell me as a Democrat that you believe in gun control, but Hunter Biden buys a gun illegally, bypassing gun control, and it's okay. And he smoked crack on camera, and he did not pay his taxes. Things that we would go to jail for, and we do get locked up for every day. He doesn't, because he is the president's son. But what did Trump actually do? Nothing that anybody get prosecuted for. I don't care if you're the president or just a regular normie. Nobody gets locked up for that. And other things, getting fined liable for sexual assault. What does it even mean? It's nonsense. So I agree with half of what he said, just not the entire thing. Exactly, Daytona prototypes. Fetterman is wrong. The Hunter case was legit. The Trump case, not. The Hunter case, yes. 100%. So, yeah, Fetterman is a Democrat. Fetterman is kind of an old school Democrat, like a normie Democrat, in my opinion. But a Democrat nonetheless. And things have gotten so bad on the left that we sometimes view normie Democrats as conservative, although they are not. Okay? So let's check it out. Now, the drones. So a lot of you guys have been seeing drones. I've been getting a lot of emails from you guys with the videos, pictures, and whatnot of the drones in the skies where you live. Okay, all over the USA, but I think, well, all over the East Coast or the eastern part of the USA, but they are focused for some reason on New Jersey, northern New Jersey, and southern. Why they're there, I don't know. But GOP House Rep Jeff Van Drew went on Harris Faulkner, I think this morning, and said that the drones came from an Iranian mothership and they put them in the sky. And they're flowing just below restricted airspace, so they're not violating laws. But they're big as an SUV. They're lit up. Sometimes they're just hovering in place and chilling. Now, one thing that Harris Faulkner asked was a really good question. How are these things being fueled? You can't just be up in the sky that long without any kind of fuel. Okay, it's at night, so no solar. And I don't think solar would be enough anyway. So how are they being fueled? Is there a payload on these things? If you shoot it down, what's going to happen? Is it going to be a reaction? What's happening with these drones? Let's watch.
Right now, elected officials sounding off on the presence of unidentified drones. Hundreds of apparent drones, gigantic ones, have been spotted lighting up the skies in New Jersey and even into Philadelphia. And now Congress and everybody else wants to get to the bottom of it. Representative Jeff Van Drew even telling Fox News they need to be shot down.
Know that Iran made a deal with China to purchase drones, motherships, and technology in order to go forward. These drones should be shot down, whether it was some crazy hobbyist that we can't imagine or whether it is Iran.
And Greg, this was as elected officials there in the Garden State held a closed-door meeting about these things.
Yeah, Jason, they did have a closed-door meeting, and to be honest, I mean, this is something that everybody is talking about, and the fact that there is no kind of definite answer in regards to these drones, that's leading to a lot of mixed feelings.
Let's pause. Now, matter of fact, let's not pause, because I have a lot to say, but let's get through the clip here.
It's so close, and it's going so... Look at it!
Frightening. I'd like to know exactly what's going on.
A feeling among many living in New Jersey and Pennsylvania that have seen and heard about large drones recently flying in the sky, especially at night.
I've seen them, yes. And it's kind of scary when you're driving down the road at night and you see these lights coming towards you in the sky. You don't know what it is.
If there was something up there that was not supposed to be up there, the F-35s, the F-18s, the multiple radars, missile silos, multiple military things that are in New Jersey alone. I don't think they'd last longer than 5 seconds in the sky.
This afternoon, a special meeting about the drones was held at the Regional Operations and Intelligence Center at the New Jersey State Police Division headquarters. We are told by Governor Phil Murphy's office that he did not attend this meeting and that it was held by administration members for local elected officials. Last week, Governor Murphy held a meeting with senior officials with Homeland Security, State Police, and the state's congressional delegation. The governor has mentioned in the past that there is no known threat to the public at this time. But
now, look. What do you think these are? Are they drones from Iran, from China, from the United States government, some kind of covert operation that's not even covert because it's big as day in the sky over urban areas? Alien in nature, not of the planet. What do you think these things are? Let's continue.
Today, New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew sent a letter to President Biden demanding flight restrictions and to issue an order to neutralize them as soon as possible. This comes after the congressman spoke on Fox News about where his high-level sources are telling him these drones may have come from.
Know that Iran made a deal with China to purchase drones, motherships, and technology in order to go forward. These drones should be shot down, whether it was some crazy hobbyist that we can't imagine or whether it is Iran, and I think it very possibly could be, they should be shot down.
Which those within the Department of Defense spoke against those allegations.
There is not any truth to that. There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States.
Now, look, okay, The reason why she's saying that is in response to what Jeff Van Drew said on Harris Faulkner before they came out at the Pentagon and said something. Now, what I was saying in my earlier video was, why am I not seeing the Pentagon come out and address this head on? Why are you guys responding to stuff that's being said on Fox News? If you have people all over the country, but definitely in New Jersey, seeing these drones, giant, the size of SUVs, you need to say something. You need to come out and say what's going on. If you don't know, just say that. Or just say, hey, we are aware of what's going on and we are investigating. We're looking at it. As of right now, there's no known threats. But you got to say, you can't just be quiet and let others give an explanation, because now you look crazy like you're just trying to cover something up.
States.
Now, we're learning more information in regards to that briefing. The Republican New Jersey State Representative Dawn Fantasia, she had posted on X in regards to how that briefing went. And some of the things that she highlighted is this. She said, we know nothing, period. To state that there is no known or credible threat is incredibly misleading. She also mentioned state authorities, include the New Jersey State Police, are shackled with what they are able to do. Any interception or takedown of any unmanned aircraft system is under the strict jurisdiction of the federal government. And she also mentioned the U.S. Coast Guard seems to be most likely to intervene based upon the briefing, but she said that is still a mystery as well. And of course, we reached out to the FBI and they say if you see anything suspicious, you are to contact the FBI hotline. Reporting live.
All right, so I mean, they're kind of all over the place. Something's going on. It's not just nothing. It's not just a so-called hobbyist. Now, we have New Jersey State Rep Brian Bergen, who walked out of a Homeland Security briefing on the whole situation with the drones. He walked out. He was like, okay, this is a waste of time. Why am I even out here? What's going on? Let's watch what he has to say.
All right, so you're here today. You were just inside. You walked out. Why?
I walked out because it was worthless. It was the biggest amateur hour presentation I've ever seen about anything, okay? It was ridiculous. There were no answers. Every question that was asked by a member of the state legislature, great questions, no answers, no resolution. They don't know where the drones are coming from. They don't know who's doing it. They don't know why they're doing it, but they say there's no credible threat. It was annoying to be there. I drove 2 hours to be here today, spent an hour in there. I got to drive 2 hours back. The biggest waste of 5 hours in my entire life.
So why do you think they called this meeting?
No idea. Why would you call a meeting to tell people you don't know anything? I have no idea. And then when the legislators would ask questions, there were no answers. Here's the most frustrating part. The colonel of the state police said that he had a helicopter of his flying over above one of these drones, a 6-foot drone or something. I can't remember exactly what he said. And he felt unsafe for his helicopter, so he just let it go. Just let it go. Where'd it go? Who knows? You know, didn't want to follow it because he didn't feel safe. Is that not the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard?
Now, here's what could be going on. The federales are doing something that the locals don't know about.
I mean, honestly.
Do they have any idea where these drones are originating?
No, they don't. They would. Maybe if they followed that sucker to when it landed, they would know, but they don't. This is a complete lack of effort, in my opinion, on trying to figure this out. This is not about ability. We have the technology, we have the people, we have the training, we have the resources, we have the money. It's just a lack of effort. I mean,
Why?
I don't know. They should be saying, you know what they should have done today with productive use of our time, if they didn't know anything? Come in there and say, hey, legislators, we don't know anything. But if you get us these 10 things, do these 10 things for us, and the governor calls in this kind of action, we can figure it out. Will you help us? And then we would have helped them. But instead, it was just excuse after excuse, and we know nothing. It was infuriating, and I got up and I walked out.
You've been in the service, right?
Yeah, I was an attack helicopter pilot, Apache helicopter pilot in the Army, and I helped stand up the initial unmanned aircraft training battalion in the aviation sector of the Army. So I know a little bit about what I'm talking about, and these guys are not doing the job they need to do to figure out what's going on, and that is the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, and the state police.
And they're saying no threat to Americans.
They're saying no threat, but how the hell do they know? They don't know anything. They don't know what it is. They don't know where it come from. They don't know nothing. When I walked in here today, I was actually pretty calm. I was excited to be here to find out a couple things. I thought they'd be like, hey, listen, it's FedEx, trying to figure it out. But instead, I got the most ridiculous amateur hour briefing I've ever sat through.
Wow, that's truly upsetting.
Yep.
Okay, so there's a lot going on. There's a whole lot happening. You guys asked us really good questions in the chat. Where's NASA? Where's Space Force? Okay, don't we have agencies that are funded to the tune of billions of dollars a year to go do this kind of stuff? Where are they at right now? Are they not like on it? Okay, we're going to just play with these ships, these rockets to go where? To Mars, to the moon. Okay, that's great. But can we just go check out where this drone is going? They're not flying high in the sky. He said a helicopter flew above it. So we can't just follow it back to where it's at. Or how about maybe not a helicopter, maybe a fighter jet, a fighter jet that's built for something like that. If it appears to be a threat in the sky, you don't know where it is, you don't know where it comes from, get some fighter jets in the sky and follow it back to where it's got to go, because at a certain point, they have to be fueled unless there's a nuclear reactor on it, which that could be. And if that's the case or something like that, that's why they don't want to really be forthcoming. Again, the only person who said a definitive answer with, okay, it's coming from here is House Rep Jeff Van Drew from New Jersey said that it's the Iranians. But the Pentagon said it's not them. Ain't no mothership, and there's no mothership launching drones off the East Coast of the United States. So I think they're just trying to hide the reality of what's going on. That's just as simple as that. I think they're trying to hide it. But what do y'all think? Oh, and here is the governor, Phil Murphy of New Jersey.
The drones in New Jersey, in Morris County, I don't know how many mayors sent a letter to you this morning asking for a clarification. What can you tell us? What is going on, and why is it taking so long to come up with an explanation?
Yeah, it's a good, I don't blame people for being frustrated. Let me say, most importantly, right up front, we see no evidence, and I say we, this includes Homeland Security, FBI, Secret Service, our state police, authorities at all levels of government. The most important point to say is we don't see any concern for public safety. That's number one. Number two, having said that, it's really frustrating that we don't have more answers as to where they're coming from and why they're doing what they're doing. We had last night 49 sightings. I think 20 of them were over 100. Now those include, I think I saw one mistaken a fixed-wing aircraft, a plane, a small Piper Cub, for instance, for a drone, or you saw one and that counts, and then I saw the same one and that counts. So we think these are overstated, but it's a non-zero number. I was on with the White House and Homeland Security leadership literally at the very top yesterday for pretty much all day. I'm hoping we'll get answers sooner than later. I would just ask folks to continue to let the FBI or their local law enforcement know when they see something, and we'll continue to do everything we can with our federal partners to get clearer answers.
Why is it so hard to get answers?
These are apparently very, as I understand it, very sophisticated. The minute you get eyes on them, they go dark. And
pause. The minute you get eyes on them, they go dark. So what does that mean? They turn the lights off and you can't see them anymore. You can still see them. I mean, they're big as an SUV in the sky. So if you're above them and you can see them, then you should be able to see them with the lights off. So what does it mean they go dark? Do they vanish? Do they move very quickly when they are being approached? What does that actually mean they go dark? I want him to elaborate on that.
You know, we're obviously most concerned about sensitive targets and sensitive critical infrastructure. So we've got military assets, we've got utility assets, we've got the president-elect's one of his homes here. This is something we're taking deadly seriously. We've gotten good cooperation out of the feds, but we need more, and that was my plea.
Finally, how much longer do you think?
I don't know, but if we have news, I'll let you know. The minute we know something, I'm not going to hide it under a bushel.
Governor, you have people saying, I saw a drone and it was spraying something, or I saw a drone crash in my yard and it set off an alarm when I tried to go near it. There's a lot of fear amongst New Jersey residents. I mean, what is your message?
Well, the message I just gave. But by the way, we're not aware of any nefarious drone that has crashed, or if there is one that's crashed, could someone please call me and let me know where that is? There are a couple of rumored downings for one reason or another. One of them was a toy, the other one was never found. But having our hands on equipment that's on the ground would be helpful, no question about it.
Now, okay, what's going to end up happening is you're going to have civilians trying to shoot it down. I mean, we got some people out in this country, they got some heavy firepower that you might not really know about. I don't know about anti-aircraft weaponry, but something, they're going to try to shoot it down. And that's what, listen, if people try to shoot it down and it causes a reaction, an explosion or something like that, I think that needs to be known to the public so people don't try to go do that. And even if that is the case, and you tell people, okay, don't shoot it down because it might be a reaction, we got to shoot it down or take it down some kind of way. Because if we don't, somebody will. They're going to totally ignore the directive to not shoot it down. They're going to shoot it down anyway. So they gotta do something really quick here. The drones are in the sky. I think we got there's three possibilities here. The first thing is that Jeff Van Drew, what he said about the Iranians and the mothership, that could be correct. The second thing is these are of unknown origin and we don't know what's going on. Think about it like this. If aliens came in and they had some kind of crazy looking vehicle like what they have in the movies, some kind of big, Prometheus looking ship, if that was in the sky, it'd be mass panic. And the government would not have any answers. With this, it doesn't look like the crazy movie spaceships. So people are less frightened. It looks kind of normal, although abnormal. But the government still might not know what to do. The same as if you had a Prometheus-looking crazy cigar-shaped ship just hovering right over New York City. It'd be the same thing as that, but since it looks different, there's less of a panic. But beyond that, it could be the U.S. government trying out things, doing things, and then it could be staged for a false flag. So let's say, for example, the government has these drones in the sky. They put it out there that the Iranians did it. And then all of a sudden, one of these drones blows up. There's damage. Somebody gets injured. They die. Now we got a problem. Now, okay, the Iranians are attacking us. Now we got World War III. I think it is more of a surveillance thing akin to the spy balloon, but it could be more. What do y'all think? I think it's alien in origin. I think it's the United States. Or are we talking about foreign adversaries threatening us or doing a spy boom type situation? Y'all let me know. Now, to move forward a little bit, and the calls are coming later on in the show. We get back to the drones during the calls later on in the show. But did you guys see the USPS chief, Louis DeJoy, during the congressional hearing? Did you guys see that? Now, look, we all know about the Postal Service. They very, very in debt. It's a mess over there. It's just not a really well-run operation. Now you have the chief of it, Louis DeJoy, being questioned. And look at what he does, okay? Let's check it out.
We're graded by the United States people, and they don't use your service anymore. You bankrupt.
That is not true.
You bankrupt this through your reputation only. Through your reputation, you are responsible for the fall of the Postal Service and the lack of accountability.
Congress is responsible for the fall of the Postal Service.
So it's Congress.
I am trying to fix
on your
the Postal
watch,
Service.
With all the AI.
Before my watch, the same stuff happened.
With all the AI, with all the computer systems, you're worse than if I took a horse and picked up the mail and delivered it 2 miles down the road. That's you. I hope.
Did you see that? My man just covered his ears.
To yourself.
And picked up the mail and delivered it 2 miles down the road.
Na boo boo, na. Hey, that's like when I was like 5 years old and me and my cousins or whatnot be arguing. I'm like, nah. I can't hear you. It's like, sir, are you 55 or 5? Did you really do that during a Senate hearing? Sir, that I've never seen anything like that during a Senate. And I've seen some crazy things during a Senate hearing. But this covering your ears, nah. That's crazy. This guy got to be closer to 60 years old doing that. At a congressional hearing. Like, am I tripping? Am I dreaming right now? Like, is this real life? Sir.
On my watch, the same stuff happened.
With all the AI, with all the computer systems, you're worse than if I took a horse and picked up the mail and delivered it 2 miles down the road. That's you. I hope you got that on camera. This is the response that the postmaster just gave Congress when he doesn't like what he hears. Literally covered his ears and gave himself the grade of A. And with that, sir, I rest.
Man, this is, I mean, okay, it's funny a little bit, but at the same time, it's not funny at all. Because this is the government we're talking about. We're talking about the Postal Service wasting billions of dollars. Hey, man, Doge. Okay, here's my question I got. What can be done to save USPS? Is it going to just go away? What will happen to it? They got to do something, man. The current thing we have going on right now is unsustainable. Unsustainable. And this action right here, I have no words for it, really. Hey, this is our government right now. Our government in action. You cannot make this up. Now, matter of fact, is USPS, is that federal? I think USPS is public and private. It's some kind of weird thing the way they got it. But regardless, man, they got to do something. It's just totally a mess. Exactly, for real. I'm rubber you glue. Yeah. Chat like we're back in elementary school or like pre-K, playground, sandbox, all of that. How old is he anyway? Hold on. Lord Spike Protein says USPS only running surviving for IRS mail. Exactly. IRS mail. That's what goes on there. Cowboy says abolish all ABC agencies and all taxes. 100%. 100%. Now, how old is Louis DeJoy? Just for my own curiosity, how old is he? He is 67 years old doing this during a congressional hearing about the USPS losing billions of dollars of your money. Your money. Your money. This ain't just private. Your money. Your taxpayer money. Doge. Hey, Elon. Vivek. Hey, you know what? Wait a minute. This right here, this is me. As soon as Elon and Vivek come in, look, they're going to have a hotline with tips of agencies to trim, of ways to cut money. I'll be like this right here. That's me. As soon as Elon and Vivek come in, I'm like that right there on the phone. Hey, you could get rid of this agency, that agency, cut this job, that job, that job, that job. That's me right there. I'll be a voluntary Doge employee. Don't give me no money. Don't give me nothing. Don't even give me no credit. I will volunteer to help you identify these people and groups and whatnot to defund. I will volunteer to do that any day of the week. I will go to Capitol Hill just like that on the phone. Hey, you know what? I've never been a Halloween kind of guy, right? But I'm going to dress up just like that come Halloween and go to D.C. and be out there with Elon and Doge, just like that. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. So shout out to the phone guy, and shout out to the people trying to get this government back on track. We need it. We need it very badly. Oh, a little bit of good news. Our guy, Kash Patel, of course, is going to be the next FBI director. So in advance of that, you have the current guy, Christopher Wray, resigning. Check it out.
Well, John,
and RIP to the headphone user. Sorry for the loud noise.
Christopher Wray, the FBI. Well, John, Christopher Wray, the FBI director, is making this announcement right now in an all-staff town hall with thousands of FBI employees across the country. He says now is his time to go. As you mentioned, he has a 10-year term. All FBI directors do. He was 7 years into his 10-year term, and realistically, he had two options. Wait to be fired by President-elect Donald Trump because Trump announced Kash Patel would take over, or bow out before. He has chosen to bow out before. Wray is a former Republican lawyer, former DOJ prosecutor here in Washington, D.C., hired by Trump in 2017 after Trump fired James Comey after the entire Russia investigation probe. And Wray pretty much stayed out of the headlines as much as he could, at least. But in 2022, former President Trump became increasingly angry when the FBI raided Mar-a-Lago during the classified documents investigation. Of course, that that was ordered by Attorney General Merrick Garland, who oversees the Justice Department, not Christopher Wray. But nonetheless, Christopher Wray saw the future and saw that it is his time to go. So he will be stepping down, as Kash Patel, the upcoming FBI director, if confirmed, is on Capitol Hill. So the director right now is making this announcement to an all-staff meeting. We're waiting to get some wording of some of his comments.
Hey, I cannot wait until my man Kash Patel. Hold on, I'm sorry. I cannot wait until my main man Kash Patel. There he is. Can I get him on the screen? That's crazy. Oh, there we go. I cannot wait until my man Kash Patel gets in there and gets this ship back on the right path. I can't wait until January 20th, 2025. It's going to be a marvelous day in American history. Okay. Now, speaking about not so marvelous days in American history, Ryan Routh, remember the attempted or the potential Trump assassin at the Trump golf course? Remember him? We have new news about that, and I might do a separate video about this on tomorrow, but check it out. Okay, so Secret Service spotted the guy and shot at him 6 times in the bushes from 5 foot away and missed. How are you a Secret Service agent shooting from 5 foot away and missing the whole human being? Listen, I could hit him from that far away. Man, I would hit him right in the dome piece. Bing, right in the medulla oblongata. You talking about all of this right here would be over there. All of this right here would be over there. Over there. But a Secret Service agent could not hit the mark. I mean, let's watch.
We got 2 new revelations from the Trump Assassination Task Force. According to their report, the Secret Service agent who spotted Ryan Routh in the bushes outside Trump's golf course was only 5 feet away when he opened fire and missed him. Not once, not twice, 6 times. He missed him 6 times from 5 feet. How does a trained agent who passed the firearms test miss a target away, 5 feet away? That's not all. The report says the Secret Service found out at 2:30 in the morning that Trump would be golfing later that day, but they didn't secure the course, allowing Routh to camp out for 12 hours before anyone saw him. Meanwhile, Routh appeared in federal court this morning, and his legal team signaling they're going to go with the insanity defense. How convenient. Routh's public defender said he has had multiple meetings with a mental health expert while in jail, and the witnesses who saw him before the arrest say he was hallucinating and delusional. Of course. Prosecutors also revealed that Routh has been doing a lot more writing behind bars than initially reported. Routh has written nearly 40 letters to news outlets in an attempt to persuade them that he's an honorable guy, but they were intercepted before they reached their targets. We also know that only 17 of the 18 cell phones found in Routh's possession belong to him. Why does he have 18 cell phones? And wait, he has 17, so who owns the last phone? And why did Routh have it?
So many questions. I mean, look, if I'm putting my tinfoil hat on right now, if I convert this cap into a tinfoil cap, I'm thinking you got to accomplish this, and it was an inside job. It was a setup. How do you shoot 6 times from point blank and miss as a trained person? Okay, another movie reference, In Too Deep, with LL Cool J, black movie, but it was about undercover cop trying to infiltrate a drug empire. Now, toward the beginning of the movie, they wanted to test this new guy to make sure he wasn't a cop and make sure he was legitimate. So what the guy does is take a gun and shoot out of a window at somebody that they had an issue with. He's shooting at him, but he's missing intentionally to prove that, hey, I'm not a cop. But at the same time, you can't hit the guy and delete him if you're a police officer. You see what I'm saying? It's the same kind of thing going on there. You shot at him 6 times. If you missed on purpose if you are a trained person with a gun. I can see if you are a normie, never shot a gun before. But no, I'm not trying to hear that from a trained person. You could hit 5 foot away as a whole human being. If you're talking about, and guys like that should hit a soda can from 30 foot away. A human at 5 foot away, I'm not trying to hear any excuses. All right, so yeah, I gotta read more about that one. He was told to miss, exactly. He was told to miss, or he didn't want to shoot him. Maybe it was a personal thing. Okay, I see this guy right here. He might go ahead and try to hit Trump. So I'm gonna say I shot at him, but I couldn't hit my target. And then since I couldn't hit my target, he shoots Trump, and then we got a tragedy. It's a mess. 6 times you shoot? No way. Oh, but some good news here. Alex Jones will not have to sell InfoWars to The Onion. Remember, let's go back a little bit of story. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to say this story. I'm going to just let Alex say what happened here.
Fine.
But a brief story. As part of his bankruptcy thing, he was ordered to sell InfoWars to The Onion, but a judge blocked it. Let's watch.
Finally, a judge followed the law in the lawfare fiascos and ruled in InfoWars' favor. Now, the judge told him 27 days ago, Bloomberg's Everytown, that turned out is the group behind it, The Onion's their front group. He told them they didn't know it, and he said they need to stop saying that. They did not stop. Major cause of action. And I'm not a litigious person, but they're trying to destroy us and destroy free speech. So you know what's going to happen to them. And Michael Bloomberg, Mr. Babyfeet. Yeah, Bloomberg, we know all about you. So I didn't start this fight, but when I say I'm going after the bad guys, I don't mean the front group and these families they use to manipulate. They're just victims of this process. I'm talking about the establishment. So the judge just ruled in our favor. You know, we put in our filings that we believe a crime has been committed and this should be referred to the Justice Department. There's a new Justice Department coming in. I can tell you that they are looking very strongly at this. It's all, they like open and shut cases of bid rigging, of price fixing, and of collusion. All three of those are felonies. You're talking 10 years in federal prison.
So, that's deep. I didn't even realize that was Bloomberg group behind that, and they're using The Onion as a front group. Because to the public, it was like, oh, it's The Onion, making it a joke, turning it into a parody website. But you got to understand, InfoWars is a very, very serious piece of intellectual property. This is not some kind of slouch operation. If people really realize, people don't know how much money is in on the internet. They have no clue. They have no idea. Like a lot of people that, you know, I know from the past, family, they be like, how do you make money online? How do you actually make a living doing that? Like, they have no idea. Alex Jones, InfoWars, that is a tremendously big operation, really big. So when you're getting into stuff like this, it's a way to do like a, you know, hostile takeover type situation. Yeah, it gets really, really crazy with that amount of money on the line. Okay, it gets real crazy. If you can purchase a property like that for next to nothing, pennies on the dollar, then you might do it because you can make money. That's how you can generate money. You can buy it for next to nothing, and then you can maximize your profit at the end on the back end. So yeah, shout out to Alex Jones, and he looks very good. Like he's been, you know, losing weight. Okay, just taking care of himself, looking like I don't know, like he might have been wrestling a few years ago or something like this, and he's, you know, still out there on a tour doing autograph signings and whatnot. But he looks real good, and I'm happy for InfoWars that this happened. And I hope once we get the new administration in there, they're gonna block the sale from happening altogether. Yeah, block all that and just let them, you know, get back on the train here. All right. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out. Excuse me. That helped me out tremendously. All right. We got more. Oh, Mitch McConnell. Now listen, Mitch McConnell has fallen yet again. He fell during a Senate lunch with, what's it, Jim Barrasso, I think that's his name, or John Barrasso. So he falls out in front of his colleagues on the ground, scratches his face. He sprained his wrist, things like this. They say he's okay, and he went back to his seat, and it was all right. But if you fall at age 82, I mean, it can really damage you badly. And he's fallen before. He fell last year, 2023, and that's why he kept doing stuff like this, okay? That's why he kept freezing up. I ain't even going to play the audio. But he was talking, and then all of a sudden, he wasn't.
That's right.
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute.
Now, this was last year, and he did this twice during this particular appearance, and then there was another one back in, I think here he was in Kentucky, and then the other one he was on Capitol Hill. Froze up. He's talking, and then just stops. He's 82 years old. Why must these politicians stay in office until they die? You got money. You're not a poor person. You're not struggling. You're not, like a regular person who has to work, because you don't have enough money. Why must you be on Capitol Hill for that long? And here's a picture of the other time he froze up in D.C. Look at his face. Now, he spoke after that incident last year. He sounded okay, but he was not okay. He was not okay because here he is right now. Now, he's in the wheelchair, but you know what I think? I think they're going to keep him in the wheelchair permanently because he keeps falling and having these mistakes. And he fell in 2019. He fractured his shoulder, had to get surgery on his shoulder at 78 years old. He fell in 2023, had a concussion, was out for weeks, froze up 2 times while talking. And now he fell again, sprained the wrist, and scratched his face up, all that good stuff. And they say he keeps falling and having these issues because he had polio when he was a child. Polio he had when he was a child because he is 82 years old and polio was around back then. It's not really a thing now because it's 2024. But he's 82. He'll be 83 in February. He needs to retire. I don't care if he's a Republican, Democrat, Independent, no party. I don't like seeing people that are elders do things they shouldn't be doing, putting themselves at risk. I don't like it. John McCain was like that. The worst one was Dianne Feinstein. She looked a mess. Remember Dianne Feinstein? They wheeled her in. Like she was about to be dead on the West Coast. They brought her back to the East looking like this. Look. And she was 91 years old? It's like, okay. She's about dead. Like she died right after this, pretty much. This picture was taken, and then within some days, it was a short time later, she was dead. And they had her voting, and then her aides are right there saying, hey, raise your hand and say yay. Now, I think that if you can't even raise your own hand on your own to vote yay or nay, then maybe you shouldn't be voting yay or nay. Maybe you should be at the house relaxing rather than, do you see her though? Do you see this? This is completely ridiculous. And I don't care about politics in this instance. I'm looking at the person in the condition. She shouldn't be out there like that. She shouldn't be out there like that. McConnell, McCain, RP to him, I suppose. McConnell, McCain, Feinstein, Maxine Waters, Nancy Pelosi, 87 years old she is. They need to go. They need to go. It is what it is. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, we got Daniel Penny coming up next. But before we get to Daniel Penny, I want to get to something else. We got a lot going on, actually. Because we got Daniel Penny and we got your man. Well, not your man. We have Luigi, Mario sidekick Luigi. But first things first, Jay-Z. So there's an allegation that Jay-Z assaulted a 13-year-old with Puff back in the year 2000 after the VMAs. Okay. Now, I'm going to just show a picture of Puff at the VMAs if you guys need a refresher. Okay. Now, matter of fact, hold on. When was that shooting that happened? All right, so, oh, this is really good. So here's Puff Daddy, or I always know him as Puff, because I'm old. When he first came out, in 1995, 1994, it was just Puff. Here's Puff and Jennifer Lopez. At the time, they were an item. The year before this, 1999, is when there was a shooting in the club. So Puff and J-Lo were in the club, and they were with Puff's protege called Shyne. Shyne was a rapper that came out after Biggie got shot and killed, and his whole thing was he had that voice that was deep like Biggie's was, but he was not a big person. He was, regular size. Anyway, Shyne's in the club. He has a gun, or someone has a gun. Shyne shoots the gun in the club, goes to prison for a long time, and gets deported back to Belize. And now Shyne is like Barack Obama in Belize. Seriously, he's a politician. Matter of fact, hold on. Before I continue, I just want to show that for a little bit of timeline. Okay. He's like Obama over there in Belize. Okay, so I'm gonna show you Shyne with Puff, and then Shyne in Belize. All right, hold on. Y'all pardon me here, and if you like what you're hearing so far, y'all know what to do. All right, there we go. Perfect. So this is Shyne and Puff back during that time. And you see, look at that. They got the shirts with Biggie on it because that was the whole thing. He was like Biggie's replacement. They got the shirts to say, remember, but really the whole point of him being there was to replace Biggie and keep that money going to Bad Boy Records. But anyway, so there he is with Puff before the shooting back in the late 90s. And this is him right now as a Belizean politician. I'm not making this up. Because he got deported after he was released. All right? Now, anyway, the allegation is that Jay-Z and Puff, after this party, after this event, assaulted a 13-year-old girl. Now, I don't think that this particular story is true, although I think that Puff Daddy has done quite a few things that he should go to prison for, including assaulting women, boys, men, all of that. But I don't think anything coming from Tony Busby, the ambulance chaser from Houston, Texas, is true. Because look, here's the thing. If it's true that Jay-Z assaulted a 13-year-old, then he should be brought up on charges because there is no statute of limitations for that crime in New York. I'll say it one more time. There is no statute of limitations for that crime of assaulting a 13-year-old girl in New York. So if the person now 24 years later wants to say that Jay-Z did that, okay, cool. Take him to criminal court. That's what I was taking to criminal court. And be clear, I'm not a Jay-Z fan. I don't like Jay-Z. I think his music is overrated. I don't like Beyonce. I think she's overrated. She's dry. I don't like her trying to be a country music star. I don't like Jay-Z trying to defend her in that civil rights. We got to break in the country because we black and we started it. I hate all of that. I'm like this. If you got good music, that speaks for itself. All this race stuff is totally bogus. So be clear, I'm not a Jay-Z fan or a Puff fan. Not at all. But I don't like when somebody can just say, oh, he did that to me without evidence, number one, being anonymous, number two, and then not even going the criminal route. You just want to straight get money. What happened here was when Puff got sued by Cassie, there was a rumor amount of like $30 million that she was going to get. Once he settled, they opened the floodgates for everybody to come out and try to get a piece of the pie. After Puff gets locked up, here comes Tony Busby talking about we got a lawsuit and everybody wants money. He did the same thing to Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson did not get locked up for sexual assault. He didn't get criminally prosecuted at all, but he got found liable, had to pay a bunch of money, millions of dollars. I hate that. If I did something, bring me to court and prove it. Convict me in the criminal court. If Jay-Z did that, convict him. Same thing with Young Thug, by the way. Okay, Fonnie Willis, you want to bring forth Young Thug, all these guys to court in Fulton County? You spending all this money, all this time, and you can't convict him? I say that it's a good outcome. It's a great outcome because the prosecution was incompetent. If they had proper and competent prosecution, is able to actually try a case and not have all this improprieties going on, fornicating with guys in the actual case. If that wasn't going on, then maybe they would have got locked up. But since that did go on, and since it was amateur hour, they're free. If I did something, go about things the right way and convict me in court. Don't just slander me and say he did it and make me pay money. Because check it out. Even if I don't like Jay-Z and I think he did it, and I think that it's okay that it's happening to him, it could be me next. Somebody says ABL did X, Y, and Z, and I got to pay some money. Even though they don't bring me to criminal court and convict me, I'm now forever damaged. Same thing with Trump. He was found liable of sexual assault with E. Jean Carroll. Okay, did he do it though? Did he actually assault her? Is there any evidence of that? And then what did they do on TV? Oh, Trump is a rapist. Is he? Is he? Fine. If I got found liable, does that mean I did it? No, it doesn't. Same thing with Jay-Z. I don't care who it's against. If I love him or hate him, it's the principle of the matter, and it's about following the law. As simple as that. But I'm getting triggered. Hey, I'm getting triggered, so I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far and know what to do, please give the video a thumbs up. All right. But that was, I had to get it off my chest. I had to get that off my chest. Now, Daniel Penny, speaking about going to court, going through the process of a criminal court. Hey, he did this. He did that. All right, take me to court. Daniel Penny went to court and got found not guilty. Check it out.
The jury has reached a unanimous verdict in the case of Daniel Penny. He's been found not guilty on the charge of criminally negligent homicide. Now, remember what was at stake here. The jury could not agree on manslaughter.
Hey, I got to say something else. Somebody says that Jay-Z's guilty. We all know it. Okay, that's fine. If you think that, if you believe that, take him to court and prove it. Take him to court and prove it. And if you can't prove it, then you can't say nothing. Like, it don't even matter. You could, look, if everybody knows he's so guilty and you got all this evidence, present that in court and lock him up. If you can't, then ain't nothing to say.
They failed to agree twice. The judge gave them another bite at the apple on this lesser charge, negligent. They now say not guilty. What does this mean? Let's first go to reporter C.B. Cotton, who's outside the courthouse, to find out how this has played out. Now, I hear an immediate melee of protesters, C.B.
Hi, Harris. That's right. Protesters are pretty upset. There's a large crowd of them out here next to me. You can hear them rattling the police barricades, saying no justice, no peace. And what they're yelling now follows a series of threats that they hurled earlier as the defense walked in with their client, Daniel Penny, telling the defense team that Daniel Penny can have no peace here in New York if he's found not guilty on this lesser charge, criminally negligent homicide. And from what I can hear right now, they're repeating those threats. They are very angry. Harris, I also want to mention there were a couple people here this morning to support Daniel Penny, but the anti-Penny crowd far outweighs them, and they seem pretty upset. We're seeing police officers come out here in droves to try to keep the two groups separated for now. But I'm looking at our notes from the courtroom, and it seems like this is the first time we've seen some real emotion from Daniel Penny. His attorneys told me this morning that this trial has understandably taken a toll on him. He's been spending time with family and friends to try to stay calm.
Hey, this trial has been taking place for a long time. The incident happened, I think, what was that, like May or so, or earlier on in 2023, we're going into 2025. You're talking about at least a year this has been going on. A year and some change, this has been happening, and now it's over. That is like a big piece of your life that's gone. You know how long a year and a half is, 2 years? You know how long that is? Think about when you were a child, how long 2 years was. That's like you start high school and then you're into your junior year. That's half of your high school career, 2 years. That's how long that is. All because of an ambitious Alvin Bragg, the same as Fani Willis. Fani, I don't care how you say her name. Same thing. And again, there was another guy in New York, a black guy, who deleted a black guy on the subway. Same situation, self-defense. And the black guy who deleted the other black guy had a knife, a weapon, stabbed him, deleted him, and didn't even go to court at all, really. He was locked up for a little bit, but then they dropped all the charges. It wasn't even the court case. They just let him go. No bail, no nothing. Go home. But with Daniel Penny, you got to prosecute him, and you lost. That's prosecutorial misconduct, in my opinion. If you let one case go, decline to prosecute, and it was actually worse in the case you wanted to prosecute, and the case that was not as bad as one that you dropped, you still lost and didn't even get a conviction. It's a mess. Let's keep on going here. Here is Jordan Neely's father. Now, remember, Jordan Neely is Michael Jackson impersonator who got, well, I ain't gonna say he got deleted. The guy who died on the subway after being put in a restraint by Daniel Penny. Check it out.
I just want to say, I miss my son. My son didn't have to go through this. I didn't have to go through this either. It hurts. Really, really hurts. What are we going to do, people? What's going to happen to us now? I had enough of this. The system is rigged. Come on, people. Let's do something about this.
All right, had enough of the father. So look, though, Dad, whoever you are, where were you at when someone's on the streets getting high, beating people up, schizophrenic? Like, where were you at when he was doing all that? Where were you at when he was getting locked up over and over, harassing women? Where were you at when he was doing that? He's homeless. So are you homeless too? Where is the housing for him? Where is the care for him? Where's the treatment for him? You guys let him spiral. He crashes out and then he dies. And you talking about, oh, well, I want to sue. I want to be present. Where were you at before this whole thing happened? This reminds me of Ma'Khia. Remember the case with Ma'Khia Bryant, the young girl in Ohio? I think she got shot by police or something like this. But anyway, now Ma'Khia Bryant was a foster kid. But when she died, everybody in the family showed up. Okay, but where were any of you guys that showed up after she died when she needed somewhere to go? She was in the system staying with them. You got 10 family members, adults, and nobody take her in. But when she dies, now I'm going to show up with the ambulance has been corrupt to get some money. Now I'm going to try to get some money. Now I'm going to try to get lawyered up, which is what my man right here in the suit, that's a lawyer right there, trying to get some money from the city. But when he was spiraling out of control and he was homeless for years and years and years and years and years and years, where were you at though? Where were you? I don't understand. I do understand you want that money. Hey man, it's an evil world that we live in. Shout out Future. But going back to my main man, going back to our guy, Daniel Penny, he's celebrating. He's in the bar chilling.
How you feeling?
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
He's feeling good. He's feeling good. He's feeling good.
What's up?
We're
Come together. How's it going? How's it feel?
Feels great. He's finally got the justice he's deserved.
Did you think it was going to happen?
Sorry? No, we think that this should have happened probably on day one, but the point thing is it happened. So we can't control the timing of it, but we can certainly savor the outcome.
And why do you think it was not guilty?
That's
Instead
good. That's that guy.
Well, he's not guilty on a few different reasons. Because his actions were justified. He was trying to help people on that train, and he did. And number two, he's not responsible for the death because the death was caused by a lot of other factors that we tried to present with a lot of clarity, such as the K2 abuse and the sickling crisis. And cardiac issues, not to mention the paranoid schizophrenia, which only added to that impact. So I'm just glad that the jury was able to truly evaluate that as a potential cause of death, and that Danny was justified in the actions that he took.
Right on, exactly. So shout out to them. Shout out to the lawyers. Shout out to Daniel Penny. Hey, look, man, if you're on the train, you want a Daniel Penny to be on your side. You want him to have your back. You don't want him to be against you. You want him to have your side. And when you got a paranoid schizophrenic, high on drugs, get ready to crash out, you want him to be there to help. That's what you want. Okay? I'm the same way. And in certain situations, I'll be that guy. Like, when I was on the plane, had to, get that guy off of there. If he wanted to do something to me, we would have been in there wrestling. Okay? If I'm near an exit door on the plane, and I'm seeing some guy getting up, I covered the story. This guy was tinkering with the door. If I'm close to the airplane door and I see you tinkering with it, man, you're going to get put in the crippler crossface like Chris Benoit. That might have been a bad reference, RIP to him and them. But anyway, you're going to get completely, like, all of your neck, your eyes, all of that is going to be compromised if I see you tinkering with that door. Okay? You want guys like us to be there with you. I will never hurt anybody that doesn't deserve it. But if you're doing something that's going to endanger everybody, the way I see it is I'm willing to hurt myself to hurt you to save myself and everybody else. That's how I feel. Now, let's see what AOC feels, shall we?
Essentially said that he would do it again if necessary, if there was a present threat. What do you make of the comments?
Well, doesn't that, I just feel like that tells us everything. If we do not want violence on our subways, and the point of our justice system is a level of accountability to prevent a person who does not have remorse about taking another person's life. I mean, even people who have engaged in manslaughter or have taken a life accidentally express remorse. And so the fact that a person may express no remorse indicates that there's a risk that it may happen again. And if we do not want to unleash that level of violence, then we should exert a level of accountability to prevent that from happening again.
Essentially said that he would.
Yeah, her eyes are just like too big, I guess. It's like it's a filter, like it's a one of them old timey cartoons. You know what I'm talking about. They got them real big, crazy eyes. That's like, half of their face. But yeah, Daniel Penny is a hero. You want guys like that to be on a train on your side. You do. Okay. Now, this is a TikToker. I just want to see what they got to say. I've not seen this, and I know I'm running out of time, but hey, it is what it is. It's fine.
Another white man has gotten off scot-free after killing a black man, and yet another politician claims that we need better mental health care, yet they conduct sweeps of homeless encampments and do nothing to provide housing, to provide health care, healthy food, clean water, basic things that people need to live a healthy life. Jordan Neely was a beautiful human being. He was an artist. He was a dancer who suffered from depression and PTSD from a traumatic past. And now he is dead. And Daniel Penny, who at the time was a 24-year-old Marine vet who knew how dangerous a chokehold could be, killed him. Jordan didn't hurt anyone before Daniel Penny choked him to death. Yet here we are, and this case reminds me so much of the judge at Vincent Chin's murder trial who gave the two white men who killed him probation instead of a sentence, saying that these aren't the kind of men you send to jail.
Okay, I'm not quite sure what gender we are right here. Sir, ma'am, I don't know what's going on, but like I said, you want guys like that on your side. And I found out who AOC reminded me of with the eyes. Okay, shout out to the gamers out there. You ever played Cuphead? If you ever played Cuphead, or if you haven't, that's kind of what it reminds me of right there. Them real big, old school cartoon eyes. That's kind of how she looked in real life. So I guess that this kind of imagery came from somewhere. It ain't just something they made up. They might have saw AOC's abuela and modeled it after that. But anyway, shout out to AOC and shout out to Cuphead. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, I gave you one person's opinion about Daniel Penny. Now let's look at somebody else's.
This is the only question.
All right, let's watch RIP to the headphone users.
That I have for Hawk Newsom, who claims to be Jordan Neely's uncle, and all the other family and friends who are talking about this case is wrong and that Jordan Neely was so wonderful and great. He was just somebody who was homeless and didn't have a job and was hungry. If you know that you have a relative who was homeless, hungry, and looking for a job, why did you not do everything in your power to help that person when they were alive? Why did you allow your relative, your mentally ill relative, to wander the streets of New York City homeless, hungry, and looking for a job without attempting to help him? And now that he has passed on, you have all these people coming out of the woodwork. Hawk Newsom talking about he was this person's uncle. Where was his uncle when he needed him? Where was his uncle when he was sleeping on the streets? I would like to know where all of these people were, because it appears that everybody is popping out of the woodwork now so that they can claim a paycheck from it somehow. It is time for black people in America to tell the truth. The only reason this case, in my opinion, got any notoriety is because one person was black and the other person was white. I do not believe that if we were talking about two white people or two black people, nobody would even bat an eye at how the case turned out, which goes to show the level of black privilege that exists in 2024.
Oh, hey. Wow. She said it all. In 1 minute and 16 seconds, she said everything on point. Preach it. That was fantastic. Right on point. All right. So if you like what you're hearing, you know what to do. I'm going to go a little bit longer. I'll probably just go longer after I'm done to take care of the calls, because we got to get to Luigi Mangione. We got to get to him. So y'all just bear with me. We'll get to the calls a little bit, okay? Now, this is what CNN's got to say. This is the CNN reaction to Luigi Mangione and also Daniel Penny.
Later in the night, we're also going to talk about Penny and the verdict there. Mm-hmm. There you also have a victim who somebody determined did not deserve to continue living, right?
No.
Yeah, tell me which vigilante action is okay.
One is being proactive, right? So this kid who executed a guy walking away from him, shot him in the back, for no reason whatsoever. Daniel Penny is a hero. You can say anything you want. Talk to people who ride the subway every day. Because I do all the time. So let me I can't find anyone who rides the subway who's unhappy about this verdict.
Well, later in the...
Exactly. Now, one thing about it, a lot of the jurors, they ride the subway. You could tell. Because they already know what's going on with the subway. They know how dangerous it is. And they know that a guy like Daniel Penny would be a great asset to have on the train with them if they are ever encountering Jordan Neely, cracked out, schizophrenic, acting the fool, threatening people. All right. Now, here is Luigi Mangione. Now, look, a lot of the young ladies out there love this guy. They see him. He got ripped up abs, all this kind of stuff. His face, they love him. And they think that he's doing the right thing by taking the life of an executive. But that's him at the McDonald's eating the hash brown. I don't know why he had to be in there eating the food. Why you can't just get a to-go. But they found him in Altoona, Pennsylvania, in the McDonald's because somebody recognized him. He has really distinctive facial features, the eyebrows, nose, lips, all of that. So even with his mask on, he's able to be recognized by them crazy, thick eyebrows. My thing is, okay, you might not be able to afford a facelift like in the movie Nicolas Cage, Face Off. You might not be able to do that, but can you at least get your eyebrows to shave? Okay, go ahead and just go Charlie Villanueva and take them eyebrows off, and you might be a little bit more incognito. Or how about not sitting inside of a McDonald's in Pennsylvania where they're looking for you at anyway, and you get recognized. So they found him there, and he has an outburst while being taken into custody or taken into the building.
Down.
Oh my God, that's completely out of touch. And it's an insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
So something about completely out of touch. It's an insult to the American people and lived experience. I don't know what he's talking about. I saw something in the manifesto. It didn't make a lick of sense. Trying to rage against the machine, rage it against capitalism. Meanwhile, he comes from a rich family. His family is from Baltimore, well, Towson, which is not Baltimore, but right in the area. You coming from Towson, your family owns not one but two country clubs, a radio station, and a bunch of other real estate. You went to Penn, you're an Ivy League graduate, you probably got brainwashed, indoctrinated there. You've traveled the world, you lived in California, lived in Hawaii, going surfing, but you had a bad back injury. Now, some may kind of misunderstand what I said about maybe the drugs from a back injury medication could be why he crashed out like this. I'm not trying to give him an excuse. I say throw him in the penitentiary and make him make big rocks little, because at the end of the day, you did what you did. But I'm just saying maybe the back injury and you get put on drugs, that causes him to spiral. You going on the internet, you're not touching no grass. So now you're just spiraling, and then you crash out. That could have been what happened. But again, he still did what he did and deserves any kind of punishment. So don't get that twisted. I'm not trying to say be lenient on him. I say give him the rope, to be totally honest. But anyway, but he followed a lot of people. He followed right wing, left wing, everybody on the internets. And he was also on Reddit. He was everywhere on the internet. He even responded to Clown World, which is an account I use all the time to show you guys clips. And then he says right here, this is a reply. I'm not sure what the original tweet was from Clown World, but he says, prawn, I guess I could say. I'm not sure if I could say the word right there. But adult online entertainment should be regulated no less than alcohol, cigarettes, and travel. This was earlier this year, January 24th. Okay, so he was active online. He followed 71 people. Let's see how many tweets he had. It's not saying how many tweets he had. 286 tweets. Not a whole lot of tweets, but he was active. Okay. A lot of his friends from back in the day, they liked him, and they said the guy that he is now is not who they knew him to be. Now, the left, they celebrate this. They think it's a good thing that he did that to the executive of UnitedHealthcare. But what they think they're doing is not really going to... They think that they can eliminate the people that have power and then they'll get the power. But that's a communist way of thinking. When you get rid of the rich, those who have power, those who have control of certain things, when you eliminate them, all you're doing is setting your own self up for hardship, number one, and number two, for you to get deleted. Because if you think you're going to replace them and you'll be the leader, you'll be the next person to become the object of envy. So you'll get killed next. That's how that works, you see? But here's what they do. So now they got wanted posters of other executives. The CEO of Optimum Health, they got on the poster. And then who else? They got the CEO of UnitedHealthcare, and they got him already crossed out. And then they got another one, CEO of United Health Group probably, and they want to go ahead and get him. Which is crazy, because what are you going to actually do by hurting an executive of a company? Do you understand these people are employees? They get hired and fired. Okay, they're going to replace Mr. Brian Thompson with somebody else and have him do the exact same thing. And if he doesn't do the exact same thing, he'll get fired and replaced. It's simple. They're not the owners of the companies. They are employees hired to do a job. People that control the company, we're speaking about healthcare. You have the board of directors, shareholders, and also a key piece to the whole thing that we're not talking about is the federal government. Obamacare was insurance company regulation. So when you're talking about, I have Obamacare, no, what you have is an insurance plan from, let's say, a Blue Cross Blue Shield that has regulations brought to you by the federal government, which are called Obamacare. That's what that is. There's no insurance you get that's called Obamacare. It's not like Medicare. That ain't what you have. You have federal government regulated insurance. pre-existing conditions, and you got to have this in there, you got to have that in there. All it did was just raise up your premiums, and it has gotten you worse coverage. It did not really help you. But anyway, so somebody got a tattoo of defend, deny, depose, which was allegedly written on the shell casings that were shot out of the gun that Luigi Mangione had. Okay, I mean, people are crazy. They think that they are going to get rid of those at the top and they will be the ones to replace them. But all they're going to do is put themselves in the same shoes as the one that they got eliminated, and they'll get killed next. That's how it works. Now, here we have somebody that says, free Luigi. Free Luigi, she says.
Okay, so they've arrested our hot CEO assassin. Turns out his name's Luigi. He's 26 years old. He's an Ivy League grad. Did his undergrad and master's at Penn in computer science. That's my type. He's a little young for me, but baby, what is you doing getting caught eating at McDonald's? And curse you, McDonald's employee, for turning him in. But I get it. They upped the reward to $60,000. Maybe you needed that money. I never understood those crazy women that wrote inmates in jail, but I could see myself doing that.
Okay, now I got a few things. If you think that they need to free Luigi, you are not a smart person. Matter of fact, you're an idiot. You're a complete. If you think that Luigi should be freed from prison, you're an idiot. And you'll be the one who gets lined up and shot next. That's how it works. Oh, I think he did a good thing because he deleted an executive. Okay, so what's going to happen next? Now what? Now what? They're going to just replace him. So what changed? Nothing changed at all. Nothing. If you think that all these bad people in charge are going to get deleted and you're going to be the one to take over, okay, you'll be the next person to get killed. And you think she's hot? Hey, that filter might make her look pretty good. But once that filter comes off, she's going to look like a whole crack smoker in the face, okay? A whole crack smoker in the face. Once that filter comes off. Oh, yeah, that filter's on there. I saw it. I sure did. Look.
Okay.
Look, you see her face? It's not kind of in focus. It's kind of like jumping all over the place. When you see me on camera, I'm going to look the same all the time. With her, you don't know what's going on. The eyebrows and the lips and everything is all over the place. That filter and makeup. Filter, makeup, lighting, camera angle. If you are in bed with her and you get up in the morning, she will look like the Crypt Keeper. It'll be a whole new person. You be like, who is this? Who is this stranger in my bed? You will call the police on her. All right, I got one more clip. This is from MS-13 DNC. We got Joy Reid, of course, one of the number one suspects, right? But what I'm saying about being lined up and shot, this is an old thing, though. This is old Soviet communist. That's how they operate. Who said this? Bezmenov. Yuri Bezmenov said the same thing. You think you're going to be in power, but you'll be the next one to get killed. Let's watch. And let's get some sound.
We should not be surprised in this country that just reelected Donald Trump.
And I mean, the reality is, if you go back to the Trayvon Martin case, you can go back before that. You can go back to the justification for lynching around conservatives, whether the conservatives wearing the D uniform or the R uniform. Conservatism itself has justified violence. January 6th, burning down Tulsa and Wilmington, overthrowing the government there. If it's violence for the purposes they want, they're cool with it.
If the victim is somebody that I don't like, or the victim is someone who they feel deserves it, then a lot of times people are willing to justify violence. It's an unfortunate thing. It's a very American thing, right? I mean, we worship vigilante violence. We worship action heroes. We worship Charles Bronson and all these people who take it into their own hands. Al Capone, criminals and everything else like that. I think the sad part about this, frankly, is that I am not going to pretend that in a country that's been started and operated off of violence, that violence doesn't sometimes solve things. We should not.
All right, so there we go. So they're advocating for violence, but again, they'll be the main ones that get deleted because they're already they're kind of in an elite position. So if they're successful at being able to rid the world of the elites that they don't like, if they can do that, then they will be the ones pushed up to that position. And then those who are below them will say, okay, you guys are now the elites. We're going to take you out next. Anyway, all right. We got calls on deck. I got to get to. I have super chats here, but I'm going to read those. I'm going to read them at the end. I'll read them at the end because we don't have a lot of time right now. It's already, what time is it? It's already 10:30. That's crazy. But there was a lot of much. It was a lot much I had to get off today. All right, let's get to the calls and then super chats after the calls. All right, so the number to call 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. There's also an email in the description box for Skype. You could be right here, bottom left-hand corner of the screen. If Skype doesn't work, don't blame me, blame the white man because it ain't my fault. But let's keep on rocking and rolling. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Yeah, you got to have, I don't know, man. People just don't understand. I think a lot of young people don't know, and people have not been educated properly about what communism is, about other nations, how they have done things like this. It's just a lot of the old things from the past that did not work are being tried again. People think that it's going to work. That's why they keep trying it. But if they understood history, then they wouldn't try it because they would know that it doesn't work. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and go to 262. You know line who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's going on, man? Speaking to Joe.
All right, man. What's happening?
Not much. Hey, I got a question. How do you feel about this situation? I went ahead and I've been out of work for about 6 months, right? And I've been looking for work, so I've been applying at the same place. I probably applied there like 15, 20 times under my real name, which is Joe, and then I turn around and I go ahead and apply. I switched it up and I went ahead and changed up the name on my resume to like Javier.
Mm-hmm.
And I applied and I got an interview in like an hour.
Okay, so here's a question. Now, here's a question I got for you for a little bit of clarity. So I don't want to know the exact place you are applying to, but what kind of industry is it?
It's just like manufacturing.
Oh, there you go. Any kind of labor job like that, they're going to want the migrants because they could pay them less, and they think that they're going to be more dedicated to the job.
Right. So what I'm saying is they're pretty much discriminating against me because I'm white. You know what I'm saying? Like it's I got a white name. I go ahead and change my name to a Hispanic name, and all of a sudden, bam, I get a job interview, and I guess that's just the world that we're living in now. They're trying to discriminate against all of us. It's hard out here trying to get a job now.
Hey, I understand. I get it 100%, but that's like a big problem that is facing the entire nation. You see, the migrants come in, and a lot of these companies like the migrant labor because of the two things I mentioned. They dedicated to the job, less likely to call off, and they could pay them less. They could pay them under the table. They can get away with things. They could treat them in a way they can't treat Americans. So that's why they want them. So it's not even about being white necessarily. It's about being an American versus non-American. Okay, so if you were a black person, it'd probably be the same thing. If you were Asian, it'd be the same thing. They, in a certain area especially, know, okay, we got Hispanic migrants. We could pay them next to nothing, and they're going to be here every day. That's the whole thing. Now, if we get the crisis under control and close that border up, they're not really going to have that option anymore. So therefore, they got to hire actual American citizens.
Right. Yeah, I think that's where a lot of the problem is stemming from. They got options now. They got all these illegals here, so now they got plenty of options to go ahead and do that at the moment.
Right. Of course.
But which really screws us all over. I'm hoping that Holman goes ahead and gets this stuff taken care of real quick, and then we can get our lives back to track. Because really, we're all hurt now because of this. Because like I said, it's hard to get work when somebody's over there taking their jobs. I don't want to sound like a South Park meme, but it's true.
It is true. It is.
But anyways, yeah. I just wanted your opinion on that, because that's one of the things that we're dealing with here these days, and I'm looking to speak to an attorney about this type of shit, but that's there.
Right on, man. Well, thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
I appreciate it. All right, thanks. Bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Yeah, man, it's crazy out here. It really is, because you already know what it is. It just went to migrants because they could just pay them less. And it's really racist to think, because, okay, the person's name is Javier, but it might be a legal resident. It might be somebody that's born here, but it just automatically will assume that you're probably going to be a migrant with that kind of name. All right, Les, what's going on?
Hey, BL, how are you?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Good. Happy Wednesday. Good show. I want to go ahead and just make a couple of comments. So with the whole Joy Reid, because that was the last thing you showed. Isn't it funny how the most miserable women our first name is Joy?
That's hilarious. Like, what's that? Joy from the View as well.
The View.
Yeah, that is hilarious.
Like, wait, what? Like, how could you be named Joy, your first name Joy, and you're just a miserable old bat, okay? And she wanted to sit there and say that the conservatives, the conservative movement went ahead and gave like this open doorway. Like we opened up this doorway for like the J6 and violence and racism, and I don't know what else she was saying. But it's like, well, have they not forgotten the platform and the approval they gave to BLM, to Antifa? Remember when Maxine Waters was like hollering at the top of her lungs saying, wherever you see the MAGA supporters, go at them, get physical with them and all that. Like, what's going on there? So it's wrong. They want to go ahead and point the finger at us, but then yet again, they're not looking themselves. Because remember, when you point, you have 3 fingers pointing back at you.
That is right.
That's crazy. That's ridiculous. And then I want to go ahead and make a quick comment on the those massive drones out there in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Abel? You think it's just Amazon delivering like some huge packages because it's like Christmas season or what?
Nah, no Amazon. I think that it's I'm kind of torn. I'm torn between foreign adversaries and the U.S. government. I don't think it's a UFO or a private company. I'm sure it's a government action. The question is it us or somebody else?
Correct. So I was thinking the same thing. I'm looking at it both ways, same as you. So one is it just our government? And again, you see like the news media, right? It's like full-blown Operation Mockingbird, right? They're all pretty much saying the same thing. They just don't have any details. Oh, it can be Iran. So it's like we already know that the deep state has been itching for a war. And then yet again, because in reality, if we really go ahead and think about it, right? If it was really a foreign threat, if it was a threat at all, that our government, CIA, FBI, NASA, all these intelligent agencies would have been on it, and they would have shut that down right away. Period.
That's right. Absolutely.
No. Exactly, like no questions about it. So is it really, like you said, yeah, and I agree with it. Is it an inside job, or is it really something that we're just not aware of? But in reality, you honestly think that our intelligence agencies are going to be unaware of what's going on here in this country? No way. They know what's going on everywhere. Like, this is honestly, it's just a bunch of BS. But yeah, anyways, I don't know. Maybe we need to like look at the pictures and the videos at a different angle. Maybe it does have like the Amazon stuff. I don't know. We don't know. Let's just keep it as that. We don't know. It could be Amazon. But that's all I actually wanted to call in and comment on, ABL. I want to wish you a wonderful night. God bless you. God bless the chat. And the little pictures want to say good night.
Good night.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate y'all.
All right, take care, ABL. Bye-bye.
All right, shout out to Les. Great call every time. Absolutely. So about the drones, going back to that, what do y'all think? You think it's the federales? You think it's the Iranians? Aliens? What's going on? 770, you don't line. Who I'm speaking to?
Hey, how's it going? This is Mauricio online. I'm thinking, what do you feel about term limits, man? You talking about McConnell? I'm thinking about Pelosi. I'm thinking about all these old quacks up in office right now. And Trump said he was going to do something about term limits, and I don't know if that's still in the cards or not. Well, he's got to pick his battles. But what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think there should be term limits, and also cognitive function tests. Okay, so if somebody is like, all right, you could be within your term limit, but if you are 85 years old and you're falling on the ground, you're trailing off when you're speaking, you're clearly in decline, you should be able to go ahead and it should be a fast track for removal if you can really prove that. I don't want it to be abused. People just get kicked out of office because they don't like them. But if you're old, you got problems, you got medical issues, you got to go. But the main thing would be the term limits for sure.
And I'm like, I don't know how these guys keep getting elected at this age, and I don't want to change everything altogether. And I guess the founding fathers had some kind of clue about what was going on. And so I'm just like, this is very conflicting with the term limits. I'm here for them, but I'm kind of 50-50 on it. I just want Mitch out. I want Pelosi out. It's just too many old people. It's a senior citizen home, our Congress now.
It really is, for sure.
And besides that, the whole Jay-Z thing and Diddy, I'm not really conflicted about Diddy at all. But Jay-Z and I guess Beyonce, you got Jennifer Lopez and all this thing. Are they putting Epstein on Diddy?
Hey, they might try to say that he's involved, or they might try to shift it onto him and say, nah, they didn't go to Epstein Island, they went to Diddy Island. It's like, okay, come on. So they could do that, but who knows?
They moved from Michael Jackson to Epstein, now it's Diddy. And I'm like, how many of y'all are there?
A lot of them.
I guess so. Hey, man, love the show. Love what you're doing out here. You're doing the Lord's work, and I appreciate you. I'll be watching you, man. You stay strong out here in the streets, all right?
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Take it easy, man.
All right, shout out to the call, the great call. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. The number to call, 434-658-1220. I want to speak to you on line 207.
Hey, ABL. How's it going? This is Serge in Colorado.
Everything's all right, man. How about yourself?
Great. Hey, I just wanted to apologize to you in the chat for the last time I talked. I was really nervous, and I still am a little bit right now. So that was the first time I'd actually ever called into anything in my life. So my wife was laughing when I played it back to her. She could tell how nervous I was. But I wanted to talk. I got sidetracked. I wanted to talk about the drones. I have an interesting thing about that I personally encountered. Not like one of those freaky things that you're thinking, but so what happened was I think it was like 3 years ago here in Colorado. It was in eastern Colorado, and there was a trucker going down the highway, interstate, and he saw some lights and this drone, a couple drones flying in a pattern, and he pulled over and called the authorities, and some other motorists saw it too, and it ended up in hindsight, what happened was it was a rescue organization that was actually out of Nebraska, but it was near the Colorado border, and they were trying to find a lost dog using infrared at night, and they had posted it to their Facebook even, okay? So all this went on, right? So the local news picks up on that, okay? And they're like, and so I hear about it, through social media, through news, and then it's like all of a sudden, national news, and I'm looking at it, and meanwhile I go backwards, and I figure out that it's this rescue group with these infrared drones, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh geez, come on. So I go, and I even tried to contact the Denver Post. I tried to reach out to all these outlets, just trying, however I could, trying to tell them, look, this is what I found, because people were starting to go on this drone trip, and I'm like, what the heck? So then my neighbor and I'm outside of Denver. I'm on like the edge of the high plains, right? So what happens is so my neighbor, I see she's on Facebook and she's like, oh, the drones, and I'm like, what? Come on. Because what happens here where I live and where she lives is that when the planes are coming and they're heading west and we're looking east across the high plains, when they're going into DIA, the lights look like they're hovering because they're coming in straight, and it's so high up here before they bank. Like, it looks like they're hovering. Literally, you can look out my front like lawn and you can see a whole line of them lining up like you look down a highway, and they just hover. But once they bank north to go to DIA, then you can tell it's an airplane. So, but anyways, I'm just trying to, I think that's kind of what's going on here with this whole New Jersey thing, which, by the way, I lived in Morris County. I went to high school there, so I know where all this stuff's going on. But I think that's kind of what's going on here. It's kind of, the media, social media, everybody's tripping out, Granted, there are drones flying around. Some people are probably playing a prank now because they're getting a kick out of it, That's kind of my take on it anyways.
Well, do you think that's the case with the drones now? Like, or is that just a possible explanation for some of it?
Some of it, yeah. I think I definitely. Well, I'm just relating to you personally what I experienced. If you look it up, it was like national news like 3 years ago or so, where it was like around Denver. It was like this big drone thing, you know what I mean? And it just turned out, and it all started from a rescue organization just looking for a lost dog near a highway, and then just people started tripping out. And it was frustrating and funny at the same time to just watch that all happen, realizing, because I know these planes, when they're flying in towards DIA, they look like they're hovering before they bank north, you know. My neighbor, and my mom even saw it. She was staying with us for a couple months, and she saw it. And I'm like, Mom, that's some planes, It's just shit happens, So you get a little bit of a hysteria, You get that hysteria. It's like the War of the Worlds, Orson Welles stuff. So, but that's my take. That's my take. You know what I mean? That's my personal take. I think people are screwing around. We got some government stuff that's legit going on because they admitted to it with looking for Luigi there, So you got a little bit of that tied in, yada yada. So that's my take. I just wanted to call and talk about the drones because I totally forgot about that the last time because I was so nervous. So now I feel a little more normal. So thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. Thank you for the call.
And bless everyone and Happy New Year. And thanks for putting up with me.
No problem, man. Thank you for your call. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Good night.
All right, shout out, caller. Hey, you did very well, caller. Did a lot. You can just relax, man. It's just you and I. It's just you and I. So it's all good, man. You did a good job. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to 309. You don't learn who I'm speaking to. I guess 309 might have got a little bit of cold feet. Don't get cold feet now. All right, let's do anonymous caller. You on the line?
Hey, Bill. Nice hearing you tonight. Great show as usual. With regards to those alleged drones in the sky, I didn't examine this, so I'm not going to speak as if I know. I don't want to assume, like Malcolm X said, never assume. The previous lady, she said that if the government knew, whatever, CIA, whoever, Homeland Security, that they would protect us or they would do something about it. But for many years, as many of your listeners have observed since, I've been watching you since about 2016 or something, maybe 17. Homeland Security has let us down. Homeland Security turns a blind eye. Homeland Security turns against all of us at our expense. So it's also likely that if they can let not just one, not two, but three, and I'm not sure about four, big balloons, most of you only heard about one, go from the east side to the west side, then that's just for starters. If they can let those things happen to us and scare and threaten, coerce citizens with not having a pension, kicking them out the military, stealing their pension, to waste our money, our taxes on sending it to Ukraine if we don't take a clot shot, experimental clot shot at that. That doesn't even work, but likely causes shedding even if you didn't take the shot based upon research. And those were in the know. If they can do those wicked things to you and our attempt to do those wicked things to us, then it wouldn't surprise me that they would also allow bad things to happen. It's not the first, and I don't think it's the last, because it's nothing new under the sun. Because human not so kind, they're evil, very wicked and evil. And with respect to illegals or non-citizens getting government jobs, that's the latest craze over the past 10 years. It's a real slap in the face of North Americans, excluding Mexico in a way, when our taxes are being paid to incentivize or bribe an employer to hire non-citizens. I repeat again, even the peachy jobs, there's a incentive, financial bribery money, if you will, to give to employers to ignore, neglect, and discriminate, quite frankly, by not hiring people who are born and raised here. And if your name is unpronounceable, if one is a racial stereotype or pathetic or drop dead fugly, those are the ones who get the jobs. It lowers the standard. It messes everything up. And it goes against everything that someone like myself fought for, who has ideals. We wanted the right thing, but they make big promises on stage, fast-talking, slow-walking promises. And then when they get the power, they hijack the movement that was meant for good, and they misuse it for evil in Satan's system. That's my observation, and I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. They got people working in sweet government jobs where they work maybe 2 hours a day but get paid for 10. They don't understand English, and everything is, I know speak English, me know here, me know kama. It's almost like as if those are buzzword catchphrases that they use like magical words to get off with everything. And the gullible, out of touch, naive, who are oblivious, as you like to say, and rightfully so, they go, well, Shingli's new. They don't know what they're doing. I don't know why some people are so, I don't know, they're so gullible, dumb, and they're the ones that are adding to the destruction of our nation. It buns me because last I checked, these last arrivals never paved the way. They didn't go through anything in the 60s, 70s, 80s, or the 90s. They never got the fail when they should have had the pass. They ended up getting the pass when they should have had the fail. Plus, they get 5-star hotels, 5 meals a day or more, iPhones. How dare they insult me, as my mama would say, and say, oh, well, just like you. You're nothing like us. We could have come and get free stuff here, there, and like City TV everywhere. So they're not like us. And they come to get free school, free university, free clothing, free underwear, bra, backpacks, tokens. We don't get anything free. We never got to ride for free. We don't get any of that. So it really burns us because if there ain't enough for us, there shouldn't be enough for them. We're not the same. Don't insult me. What do you think, ABL?
I agree with you 100%. 100%.
Big up to Rebel News every time, showing all these East Indians talking about, I'm just like you. You have to give me a job. I'm like, no, man. You came in here under false pretense, claiming you're here to learn English, as if they can't buy a DVD in India or Asia and go watch it on their internet. They come in with their false credentials talking about, I'm a rocket scientist, a doctor, and an engineer. No, they're not. They're involved with all the scams at the version of the IRS. They're involved with taking serve money. That's basically money that people were taking if they couldn't work under different names. And they're emboldened because when they're given all sorts of free stuff, and the first time they put foot off the banana boat in our country, they just expect more free stuff. I can't go into a restaurant and use the bathroom without being told, oh, you need to pay to use the bathroom. If I'm dehydrated on the hottest day of the year, catching a heat stroke, and I say, may I please have a cup of water? That will be $5.99 just for you. It's like when they come in our restaurant, they sit down, they sprawl off, they take off their socks like they think they're at home. They suck up all the Wi-Fi, steal electricity. It's such a double standard. It's like take, never give. They're so cheap, like Russell Peters says. It burns me. They destroy every city, every country, every township, every building they come into with their attitude of entitlement. They act like we owe them something. And if we ask her the same thing, can you teach me Indian or Chinese? No can do. I go, why not? You want me to teach you? He goes, well, that's different. It's such a double standard, and it buns me. I can't. I was talking to a politician at a city council meeting. She's a left wing that I found. I innocently actually kind of won, if you will. I wasn't trying to beat her, but for lack of better terms, I won. And one of the hot questions I asked her was, you want to give all this stuff to I think I'm paraphrasing, I didn't say last raffle. It would be more verbalish and polite and civil and such. But to make a long story short, if I can, which I'm not good at, I asked her, can I go to Disneyland and say, pay for my hotel, pay for my tickets to see Mickey Mouse, pay for my Metro Pass, and give me 3 iPhones, plural, not singular, give me free clothing and all that? No, I got to buy my clothing, pay the taxes on the clothing when I get back in here so that our government can find new ways to pay for last arrivals to live better than us. And I said, you got special interest groups in here. She denied it. That's just one of the denials. And when I was in front of a restaurant, in front of a TV, it had special interest groups that were there in their shirts. I spoke personally to the a food bank company. I don't know if I should say it or not. I probably should, but I won't. And they every year they say, oh, we need more money. We're in trouble. If you take a good look at who's in line, they're not people from our country. They're not even people from our neighborhood. There are people rolling up in Gucci shoes, BMWs, what's it called? German Benz hot vehicles, 4x4 trucks, SUVs, brand new. They skipped the line for housing. So when they say we got a housing crisis, it's because these last arrivals and invaders are the crisis at the hands of the mismanagement of the politicians who create a crisis, because then they can create more jobs. Out of chaos comes order under the falsehood of safety. They say they're here to help you, but the truth be known, they're the arsonists behind the smoke. Then they offer you Band-Aids of water, but they were the ones creating the problem. It's like, I was just saying, I saw it today on the internet, something like...
I'm may cut you off, and you on the road, but I got limited time.
Big up to Alex Jones every time, InfoWars.com.
Right on, man. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Hey, he was on the roll, but, I just wanted to let more people get on. Hey, shout out to the caller. Great call. All right. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Let's go to 615. If you don't know who am I speaking to?
What's going on, man? It's Boomer. How you doing, man?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Golly, man. Shout out to that last caller, man. You need to charge the dude rent, man. Golly, you stayed on for like 2 hours. Oh my goodness, man, that's crazy. Hey, man, I got two subjects. So the first one is, so how about this? So the drones, so everybody's concerned about the drones, right? They're flying through the air. So what's going to happen when, okay, let's just say, how about I shoot it out of the sky? What's going to happen? I'll do it. What's going to happen then? They're going to come right toward me, right? They're going to be like, oh my God, you just shot something out of the sky. And they're going to come rush to me because I took it down, and it's just going to fall in a cornfield somewhere in Tennessee, right? But I'll probably be the one to get arrested, but it's just going to sit there and fly all day, right?
Yep. I mean, and you know what? The thing about it, they arrested a guy a while ago. This is before all this stuff in New Jersey. A guy saw a Walmart drone in front of his yard. He didn't know what it was. It was just picking up stuff. It was like exercising. He shot the drone. The police came straight to his house and arrested him.
What? Are you for real?
Yep.
But dude, I'm just being for real. So he shot a Walmart drone. So no, we're talking about a whole Escalade in the sky.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, if you get arrested for shooting a Walmart drone down, then what's going to happen when you shoot this big Tahoe out the sky?
So I'm gonna have a dually above my land that is literally in my name, and I'm telling you now, if I see that thing, it's a wrap, dude. If it's over my land, blah 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 blah, it's gone. They're gonna come get me immediately. They're gonna come get me, but they're just gonna let it fly. This don't make no sense, man. I for real think that they're like trying to spark as much as they can, so much World War III They just want. I literally believe they want to just dump so much in Trump's lap that he can't handle, and just hand him like a wheelbarrow full of just BS, just SHI, blah, just throw it on his desk. Like, hey man, what are you gonna do about it? Oh, you want to be here? You want to be here so bad? We're gonna make you be here. That's what you get to deal with. I think that's what they're trying to do with the whole Syria popping off. You got still the whole Ukraine thing. They just gave dude $1 billion for another new thong. He's doing this little dance. They're doing so much all over the world, and they're trying to pop off all this crap. And now you got this dude on. Was it Fox? Where'd dude come? He was on Fox TV talking about it was Iran that had a mother. Talking about they got a mothership in the middle of the ocean off the East Coast. Why do you say mothership, dude?
Yeah, I don't know why you said that, because when you say that, you're gonna think aliens, like
alien spaceship sound effects and blog immediately. Aliens from Louisiana, get your boys, man. No, yes, as soon as they got a mothership, man. What do we call it? Last time I heard it was called an aircraft carrier. You moron! You don't be talking about a mothership. Talking about a mothership with 5 drones the size of a Cadillac coming up. That don't make nothing makes any sense, man. And I'm just saying, if it flies above my house, it's a wrap, dude. I'm popping that thing. I'm tell you what. I have a picture of me. So one of my friends was a sniper in the military. He let me shoot his gun, dude. He let me shoot his rifle. I tell you what. If I show you that picture, man, that thing was so big and so amazing. When I shot it, that thing, dude, it'd take the breath out of you. It's so big, and the suppressor on the end of it was so long, like a almost as long as like a milk carton. It was so big on the end of that thing. It was huge. I got a picture of me shooting that thing. If I took that dude's gun and I looked up in the air and I saw that drone flying above my house, I said, blow, one time. There ain't no telling what would even happen to that thing, because the bullets are so big coming up out of it anyway. But like I said, if I took it down, they're going to come get me. They're going to be like, oh, you crazy, shooting some kind of military rifle, blah, 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 blah. And I'll be big rocks, little rocks. They'd be like, man, you're going against Iran or whatever the dude's talking about. They would go against us, just like the dude shot the whole Walmart thing down, And it's crazy, man. They're just going to sit here and fly this stuff above our head, just like the balloon did, with the balloon flying above our head. It's ridiculous, man, and we can't do nothing about it.
Well, hey, you know what? I think somebody might try, and I'm gonna see if somebody does it. I want to see what the reaction is going to be.
Oh yeah, because I tell you what, that's what's going to happen. Look, man, I keep telling people, look, man, here's what's going to happen. Let me put all y'all up on game. I'm from the South. This is what's going to happen. The wrong dude is going to have his son is going to go to school, and they're going to turn his son into his daughter, or they're going to turn his daughter into his son. And that wrong dude is going to know about 50 other wrong dudes that don't want to get messed with neither. And that's going to create what we call a militia. And that right there is when it's going to pop off, man. When you mess with the wrong. And what's funny, I'm going to say not funny. What's sad is that wrong dude is the dude that would cut your grass for you while you're out of town. It's the dude that's going to check your mail while you're out of town. He's going to make sure ain't nobody messing with your house while you're out of town. He's the dude that's going to look out for you. But once you mess with his kids or his people, that's when he flips. And that's when it's going to pop off. And they don't understand that. And they need to leave well enough alone and stop playing. All this stuff in the sky, they're playing too much, man. And this is I'm going to lead into the segue, and I'm going to let you go. The second part of what I was going to talk about, Daniel Penny is a straight-up hero. And I'll tell you what, man, I'll be in his place right now, dude. I'll take his place right now. Don't let me be on the subway and somebody acting a fool trying to attack people and Boomhauer's on that subway. Because right now, I'll tell you what, I'll put hands all over that dude. Because I'll tell you what, I ain't trying to throw myself out there and maybe snitch on myself, or I may or may not have grabbed a dude by the throat that had yelled in my wife's ear at the bar when I was sober as a rock, and he had screamed in my wife's ear. I maybe or may not have grabbed him by his throat and slung him across the bar for doing that. So I don't know, it may or may not have happened, but vigilantes do happen, and you may or may not take up for the person that you love or people that you do love, and things happen in this world, but vigilantes are out there and heroes are out there too. So if bad people want to keep doing bad stuff, there are good people out here that will destroy that bad stuff and make good things happen. And I want to say shout out to Daniel Penny, man. That dude needs to come on here and move down here to Tennessee, get up out of New York, and come on down here, curly dude. Come on down here, man. We got you. You need to come down to the South. You're welcome down here. Don't stay up there when them people are going to try to destroy you and attack you and say you're a racist and all this crap. He had black people on that train saying that he was a hero, man, that he was holding dude down. And by the way, dude didn't even die in his hands anyway. He was just holding that dude. That dude died. He was just like George Floyd, man. That dude died off some kind of drug like 30 minutes later. He let that dude up. That dude was still breathing, and the paramedics and everybody's looking at him like, I ain't gonna touch this fool. He's good. I ain't messing with him. So that's a fact. So it is what it is, and I'm gonna leave you with that, ABL, man. Hey, but before I go, shout out to you, man. I see you shining, man. Come on, man. Being on the Hodge Twins show, man. It's awesome, dude. That is so awesome, man. I see you growing, man. Keep shining, man. I can't wait to see you again, man. You my boy, man. I'm gonna holler at you, man. Love you, dog. Peace.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you. All right. Shout out Boomhauer. Always a great call. Great call. But yeah, Boomhauer, you just like me, man. I see somebody that I love, friend, family, getting harassed. Hey, man, I'm willing to hurt myself to hurt you if you hurting good people. But aside from that, I'll be your best friend. You don't got to worry about me doing nothing crazy to nobody, crashing out. I'm just chilling. But I get activated when things like that go on, for sure. All right, let's go to 321. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, ABL. How are you? This is Javier from Florida. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. I just wanted to say a little bit of something, at least from the point of view of the drones. I think that in order to bring the mothership from the other part, it should be at least to have been brought somehow, either ship or submarine, in order to at least to be doing around on the states. But at least that's what I think, and I will leave it up to there because I want to give the opportunity so other callers have a wonderful rest of the night, eh? Take care.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate it. All right. Shout out to the caller. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to 218 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, you're speaking to Jason Anson up on the North Shore, Mr. ABL. I watch you every week. I'm behind on the stream. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, man. Can't complain.
Yep, and I watch your thing. My internet's behind.
Yeah, don't watch that.
Yep, hold on. Yep, I had it turned down. I didn't my damn. Oh, all right. There you go, brother.
All right.
I just want to say, God bless everybody, and I appreciate your stuff. And I don't agree with there ain't no friggin' anyways. All right. I love y'all, and I just want to say there's no aircraft carrier, they're drones. But It's 12 below up here in north Minnesota. And y'all take care. Love y'all.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it. All righty. Shout out to my man. Hey, them beers in Minnesota hit way different, I suppose. them craft beers, Anheuser-Busch, all of that. Ain't that up there? Like Milwaukee? Hey, man, it hit different up there. So shout out to the Minnesota beers. All right. Let's go to 972. You don't learn who am I speaking to?
Hey, Mr. ABL, this is Daryl. This is Unified TV.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Not much, man. Just enjoying the show as always. And again, congrats. You're on there with the Twins, so I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Always, always. Quick question though. I'm thinking about the reaction from people, and I know you. I saw you on your Twitter, and you were commenting, and people were trying to argue their points about why they're celebrating the death of this UHC CEO. And it's scary to me just how many people are online celebrating the death of this man. It's very ugly to me. And I was kind of crossing it. Have you ever seen the movie Last Supper?
No, I haven't.
It has Courtney B. Vance and Cameron Diaz and all that. It came out in like 96. But the movie is about 5 liberals who will invite people who are like right-leaning. They'll invite them to dinner and try to get them to change their political views. They think they have the power to make them change their views, and if they don't, they poison them. They give them this bad wine and they poison them. And it's a good movie. It's a really good movie. But the way I'm looking at it is like this: if we're not careful, this evil government that we have been witnessing the past few years, especially these past 4 years, will breed people who think that they can save the world or think they're doing the world a favor by offing people. And the reason I'm making that tie-in is because the kind of people that are celebrating this man's death are the type of people that would do something like that, thinking that they're doing the world a favor by taking someone out of this world. And that's not what we need to be. That's not how we should be looking at things. And it's actually quite scary to me just how heartless people are, because at the end of the day, there are CEOs of McDonald's that serve bad food and they know it's bad food. There are CEOs for Coca-Cola and Pepsi that know there's bad ingredients in it. So what are we going to do? Are we going to go around executing CEOs because they know there's bad stuff happening and they may or may not be a part of it? We can't go around being vigilantes like that. And on top of that, this man is a CEO. He doesn't have the ability or the time to go to every single person's case file and policy and say, deny, deny, deny. There are people running this organization for him. And whether or not he knew about what was going on with people's denials, taking him out is not going to fix the problem. So I just think it's an evil reaction from everybody. And people really need to calm down, because if that was their family member and they're looking at people's reactions on social media celebrating their family member's death, it'll be a totally different animal. So I don't know. I was going to ask you how you feel, but I remember seeing that on Twitter and then seeing some of the videos you posted about it. And we're one of the few people that I've seen openly speak out about not reacting that way. So, but anyway, man, yeah, I just wanted to say that. But anyway, God bless you and everybody, and I hope you have an awesome Christmas coming up, man. Yeah, I wish you all the best.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, the whole thing with the executive, wanting them dead, it's like the people that say things like that don't even really understand what they're talking about. They just are frustrated, upset, and then they see the executive as a way to get that frustration off their chest. Oh, he's dead now. So, but now what? All they gonna do is replace him, and nothing will change. Okay, you want to make some change? Okay, talk to the federal government. You got to talk about policy, rules, regulations. Get down to the core of it. The normal person, the normie non-thinker is going to think, okay, an executive is dead. Now we've succeeded. All you did was just commit a senseless murder. And the person who did it was out of his mind. But I'm getting triggered, so I digress. Let's go to 225 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, ABL, this is Mark Lancaster down in Baton Rouge.
All right, man. What's going on?
How you doing, man? It's good to talk to you again, man. This is the second time you let me on. I appreciate you, man. Give me some airtime. This is the thing I wanted to know from everybody that's in the chat and from you in particular. When do you think it's time for Donald J. Trump to bring the gavel of Thor's hammer down and lay down the law and say, I'm tired of my nominations being put under scrutiny. We're doing recess appointments. Forget all y'all. It's enough is enough. We're getting this through. That's all I got to say. Thank you, man. Appreciate your feedback.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. Now, as far as recess appointments, I don't really know about that. People have been asking me about that. I don't really know about that. I think ultimately you can't really get beyond the confirmation process. So I don't know anything about the rest of that, but I think we just need to go ahead and move forward. 704 to line, who am I speaking to?
This is Hunter.
All righty, what's going on?
Yeah, man, I was just going to speak on the Ukrainian situation and this $50 million more dollars going in that direction.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, well, obviously, for one, I hate the rhetoric that goes around saying that we're just sending them old vehicles, old ammunition, old M4s, all that. We are funding their entire government, their entire military, like literally everything they have going on. And obviously, I know this is driving all conservatives crazy, but what do you think Biden's mindset is there, trying to push that through, and what else could he possibly push through to make things harder for not just Trump, but Ukraine to get out of this mess, for Russia to get out of this mess?
Well, I don't know what else he's going to do, but the main thing would be just to stop funding this whole Ukraine situation. But it's not too much time left under his administration. Got about a month left, so I don't know what else he can do. That's a good question.
Well, I mean, it seems like, I pay a lot of attention to this conflict. It seems like the past month since Trump's been reelected, he's done a pretty good bit as far as long-range missiles, all that. So, I mean, another month could plunge us like a lot closer and get us way closer to that, thin red line. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think we're going to nuclear war or anything like that, and I'm not really necessarily concerned about the drones. I think we would have shut them down if that was anything serious, but I'm just curious to what you think he could possibly do in that time period.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I'm just looking forward to the next administration at this point.
Well, yeah, I think we are. Let's just pray to God that we actually get there. Nothing stands in the way.
Right on, absolutely.
All right, well, peace out.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate it. All right, shout out to the caller. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to 336 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey.
Hello.
Was that, yes, sir, it's Rebecca. Was that Joe Biden that just called in a few minutes ago?
No, it wasn't.
I was just wondering. I mean, it kind of sounded like him. I thought he might be listening to ABL like we all do. Just wondering.
Right on.
Have a good night, ABL. We love you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. All right. I think that might be a wrap. Oh, okay. Hold on. 504 online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. It's Alien Spaceship.
All right, man. What's going on?
All right. Shout out to you and all the callers. Very excellent calls tonight. And also shout out to Boomhauer. He did very good too. And also, it's good to see more information about the perpetrator of this crime, Luigi. And I thought it was, because I always play the Mario games coming up, and it was really something to see somebody, named Luigi that was involved in this. And also, I think that, like I've said before, when we're talking about the attempts on Trump, is that people these days and the young people have been, conditioned perhaps for violence, in my opinion, and been radicalized by different ideologies like communism, for instance, and things like that. And I think that they, in the time frame of emotion, in a short span of thinking, they'll go and delete the CEO and think they did something, but he just gets replaced. But you have to have, like what you said, a policy to actually change it. So in my opinion, they're not looking ahead of their actions. They're just kind of in this moment of time thinking of something.
Right on.
Yeah, and it's a permanent, like a solution to a temporary problem, where if there was some sort of a problem, they could have these, they could go for different policies, like the country, like we went and voted to get Trump back in. And what they could do is go and vote or do activism in a peaceful way like Martin Luther King did. But in my opinion, I think that, these people don't really care about helping other people. They just want to get in power, and they think they're going to do something utopian, but it actually turns out dystopian.
Yeah, they don't really understand where it's going to end up. They have one idea in their mind, but their idea cannot really come to fruition because the method in which they use never works.
Right. And as I said, I don't know if he was a communist or not. He seems like he looked at people on both political spectrums, just some sort of a revolutionary type political philosophy. And I just think that, like with the other communist leaders, they had all kinds of these power struggles back and forth, and they'll kick one out. The creator of the Red Army got kicked out, went to Mexico, and Stalin gets in. They do this all the time. They'll kick out their leaders, and there's just this constant power struggle. And one of them was saying that they got rid of corrupted leaders to become corrupted leaders themselves. It's just the cycle never ends.
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah. And also, it would be nice for people to be more chill about it, and I'm glad that you're exposing what's going on along with the other people. Now, with the drones, I do think I'm leaning more towards what y'all are thinking, that it's the U.S. government maybe doing something. That's what I was reading, in my opinion. Also, possibly some foreign entity maybe doing something. Now, it being the UFOs, anything's possible. They could be appearing as that, but in my opinion, they appear to be things from Earth.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me too.
Yeah, and because of this somewhat of a Cold War we're in with Russia, and again, I think that people are thinking it has to do with some surveillance that's going on, and they're not really telling us anything. And what other people are saying, that they're going to be shooting it down they would have shot it down already if it was something bad, or they know what it is and they're just not doing anything. I mean, it is a mystery, and I really think the information should be released.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that I always wonder if there's some things they put out to distract people from other things that are going on, and that's why it's good to look at all the news that's going on. Like when they have the situation with Luigi, it's also good to not be distracted and look at the drones too, and just be aware of what's going on in general. And I think that more people are waking up about the situation, and that's a positive thing. And today I was watching this trial, and it took the whole day for the jury to come back, and basically it was a hung jury, and it went into the night, and a lot of people in the chat were triggered about it.
Well, hey, it happens like that sometimes.
Yeah. And also interesting insight about Jay-Z, and I didn't know his name was, of the other rapper, Puff. I wasn't aware his name was Puff back in that time. I just knew him as Diddy.
Yeah, Diddy, that was like that came about later, but like in the early 94, 95, it was Puff Daddy, because he was rapping at first, and that was his name.
Right. And also with my plants, the plants came up and they started sprouting.
Okay. Hey, sounds good to me.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, ABL, for taking my call. That's all I have to say.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Okay, bye.
All righty. Shout out to my man, Alien Spaceship, for the call. Let's go to 617 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's Jen in West Virginia. I had to chime in about the drones.
Boomer, please do not shoot down the drone because you're gonna end up making big rocks into little rocks. Please don't do it. And the reason I know this is because it's been like an online debate. So there's something called it's like the aircraft sabotage law, I guess. Apparently the FAA considers, because trust me, I looked into it. I mean, it's West Virginia, so of course I looked into it, but if they consider drones aircraft, the FAA controls the airspace over homes. Even if you own your own property, you don't control the airspace over your house. You will go to federal prison. Please don't do it. That's one reason. But another one of like the really creepy things is like you can call the local police. They can't do anything because the federal government is who has control over this stuff. And they don't equip the local governments, even if they receive federal funding, to have the technology to do anything really about it. So their hands are kind of tied, which is why I think a lot of the people at the meetings were really frustrated. But that being said, one plausible thing that I was thinking of, I don't know if you saw, I had sent you the video, but the Ayatollah a couple of years ago released like a video on his official website. What is his name? Khamenei? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Right. I told Khamenei.
So on his official website, they released a video that was obviously like a mock-up video of them assassinating Trump with a drone on his golf course.
Wow.
Super creepy.
Yeah,
Because of course it's New Jersey, but also in July, Ted Cruz wrote to, apparently there's like some drone task force for the White House. Ted Cruz wrote a letter to Jake Sullivan, the national security advisor, asking Biden, because they allocated $100 billion that went to Iran that the Ayatollah has, that they used to get drones made entirely with United States made components, wanting to know what happened to these funds. What are these drones doing? And then 4 months ago, the Ayatollah decided that they were going to put out a video of them surveilling with their drones that they made from U.S. components Israeli and United States ships.
Wow.
So it just makes me wonder, in a sense, like, are they not saying something because they're like, oh crap, we did give them the $100 billion?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point.
But I heard the call and I was like, Boomer, please, no, don't. Don't do it. But that was all I had for you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your coverage on this. Have a great night.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Bye.
All righty. Great calls tonight. Thank y'all for being here with the on the overtime, because I had so much to cover. Had to get a little bit of overtime for the calls. But that will be a wrap for me. I'll be back live again on Saturday. Same bad time, same bad place. 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, of course, this is an audio streaming podcast as well. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether that be Google Play, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the box, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. And thank you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. Thank y'all for watching, retweeting, super chatting. I could not do this show without you. Shout out to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. Super chats, I'm going to get to those. I think I've not read any super chats because I just had so much to say tonight. I was just, yapping. Let me go ahead and find it because they didn't already kind of hit it from me because I've been on and haven't read them for so long, I suppose. Let me go find that right quick. Then I wrap it on up, put the bow on top. And again, I thank y'all for joining. And I already got a lot of videos I got to do tomorrow too. So I'm going to try to get everything ready. All right, where are we at? Thank you to Shell, who says, none of your business. Thank you to Golf and Guns, who says, Subway CEO better bring back the $5 footlong if he knows what's good for him. Wow, that's crazy. Good humor. Thank you to Lord Spike Protein for the emoji donation. I cannot see what that is, though, Lord Spike Protein. You give me that twice, but thank you. Thank you to Stephen Lynch, who says, no justice, no police. Thank you to Stephen Lynch again, who says, simple but true term limits. Thank you to Blessed, who says, ABL, they were shooting at Neo. Thank you to Michael Critchlow, who says, RRP, the comment section with Brett Cooper She was averaging 500,000 views per video. Seems like Daily Wire can't keep good female talent. That's quite a few views per video. 500,000. You getting that per video? Yeah, that's a pretty big talent. They probably made a lot of money with her. So now I don't know what you're gonna do. But again, Brett Cooper, that's not really I don't think I'm Brett Cooper's target audience. Okay, but shout out to her though. Hopefully she does well. A conservative voice. I don't care who you are. If you're a conservative voice, you're gonna help the movement go forward. I'll say, I'm rooting for you. Thank you to Mouse C, who says, Merry Christmas to all, you as well. And my hopes for the brightest of New Year's for the whole dang world. Let freedom ring out loud. It makes my heart grow proud. Right on. Thank you to Unifier TV, who says, don't miss ABL on the Twins pod this Friday. Thank you to Apple Blocker, Al Puff Daddy. You sent me a few here. I'm going to answer these. So Apple says, favorite TV game show, Wheel, Jeopardy, Family Feud, Price is Right, Jeopardy all day long. Because I'm a kind of guy that I'll do the countries of the world quiz, all kind of quizzes, and okay, I'm on the plane, right? And you got you can watch a movie. I watch movies on the plane. What did I watch on the plane? I watched Beetlejuice. That was all right. It was cool, but it wasn't that really. What I saw on the plane was a bunch of remakes. I saw Alien Romulus. Alien Romulus kind of sucked. It was like the video game. I played some of that video game, like an hour of it. It played like that, like the recent video game they got. It was like it was kind of whack. Prometheus is no Prometheus. I watched that. I watched Beetlejuice, and I saw something else. I forgot what it was. But anyway, rather than watching the movie, at one point I played a trivia game. Any kind of trivia, knowledge-based thing I'm into. So Jeopardy, out of those, Wheel of Fortune, Family Feud, Price is Right. Also, Apu says, ATO Young Thug criminal case collapses. Thoughts? I was talking about that earlier. I didn't even see your super chat. I was just talking about it in general because that was a Fonnie Willis operation. And it was doomed from the beginning because Fonnie Willis is an incompetent person and she did not have what it took to prosecute that. And it should have been open and shut because those guys were involved with some criminality, allegedly. But she's incompetent, so she could not close an open and shut case. Anyway, take it to Apple again and says, Jasmine Crockett, Democrat from Texas, is a bigot. Thoughts? Well, everybody knows that. And I feel like she's putting on this black girl act that's not really the way she is. It's like she was hired to, it's like she's an actor pretending to be somebody that she's not. I don't like it. Apple again says Joe Biden should sic FBI on Pelosi. Well, man, she about to be gone somewhere else at this point. Ain't no point in doing that. I mean, he could, but I don't know. Also, he says Hawk Newsom is crybaby, bully, and a coward. That's the guy that was out there with his wife or sister or a family member or somebody with BLM in New York, talking about he's Jordan Neely's uncle. Okay, well, if you're his uncle, where were you at when he was crashing out for the past 5-10 years? High on drugs, schizophrenic. Where were you at for that? But now you want to show up and, bumping your chest and rah when you're trying to get some money. I don't like guys like that, man. If you broke, just say that, man. Go get a job, go dig a ditch, go flip some burgers, rather than trying to manipulate people to get some money out of them. I don't like that. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. I'll be back live again on Saturday, but I'm here all the time, putting out my pre-recorded videos. Check me on Rumble. Check me on my social media platforms. Check me everywhere. Thank y'all for supporting the baked-in read ads. I appreciate that. There's a lot of help. And, of course, remember, the Hodge Twins podcast featuring myself will be on the Twins Pod page on Friday, the 13th. So Friday, you'll be able to see that podcast. Had a lot of fun. I think you guys will enjoy it. It was a lot of laughs, a lot of jokes, and a lot of serious talk as well. But that'll be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.